A glorious sunny morning here in Silkeborg, Denmark. We're in the outdoor capital of the world in the heart of the Lake District. Many beautiful lakes, rivers, and woodlands here, along with historical museums and attractions all around town. It was established in 1844. There is plenty of history at the LGT World Women's Curling Championship, as it is marking 40 years of the championship this season here at the Silkeborg Sports Center. As we are down to the final round robin draw, final day of round robin play, and we have the top seed Sweden taking on Canada, fighting for their playoff lives. I am Luke Coley, joined with Sandra Rolvag, and must win for Canada in that position, while Sweden trying to give Canada another loss, drop them back in the field. It's the school kids coming in, giving the Canadian flags, lots of Maple Leafs flying. We'll see Sweden have their contingent of fans as well here inside. All 4 sheets in play for the morning session. 3 sessions to go to determine the top 6 going to the playoffs. Let's meet the teams here in our feature game. For Sweden, their lead, Sofia Maberg. Their second, Agnes Knockenhauer. Third, Sarah McManus. And the skip, this Olympic champion, world silver medalist, Anna Hasselborg. They'll take on the Canadian champs, their lead, Rochelle Brown. Second, Dana Ferguson. Third, Sarah Wilkes. And their skip, Chelsea Carey. Here's where we stand right now. Russia has qualified for the playoffs. Sweden knows they are the top seed going into the playoff picture. Korea, Switzerland right behind at 7-3. Then the logjam with 4, 5, and 6 losses. China, 7-4. They just have 1 game today. Then Canada, Japan, and the US all at 5 and 5. Germany and Scotland at 4 and 6. Denmark, Finland 2 and 8, and Latvia rounds out the 13-team field at 1 and 9. They are on sheet A, taking on Korea, who sit at 7 and 3. So an important game for Korea. Denmark and Finland battling on sheet B. We're on sheet C with our feature game, and on sheet D, an important one to keep an eye on. USA at 5 and 5 against Germany 4 and 6. Or pardon me, Scotland 4 and 6 in that game. Sandra, lots of playoff implications. Important things. Sweden knows they got the top spot, but they want to finish strong.
Yeah, I don't think the competitive nature of this team is going to die anytime soon. They're pretty keen on just winning any game, and especially playing Canada. They're going to thrive playing a Canadian team anytime, and especially this morning. It'll be interesting to see how Canada will act out there. They've been struggling this week, haven't quite been at the level that we maybe expect them to be. This is the time to really kick it up a notch, and I mean, a win over Sweden here could really boost their confidence.
Just got to get into the dance. Just try and get into that second event, the playoffs. Canada did look more like the team winning the Canadian championship in the back half of their win yesterday against Russia. And now trying to knock off Sweden, who have now won 9 straight after dropping their first game. So they do one last slide, discuss strategy.
O-turn?
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Let's do it.
Well, the skips will head down. Chelsea Carey and her team are in their white jackets. We'll have the yellow stones. Sweden in their traditional blue. We'll have red stones and have the hammer to start things off.
I'll have to probably use my other for a come around.
How aggressive does Canada go? Do you think they really try and force the issue early?
You're good.
I hope so.
Thanks.
Always more entertaining with lots of stones in play here. Rochelle Brown, a 32-year-old lead.
Line's good.
Yeah. Wait, close.
Line's good, not moving yet.
A little down.
Okay.
I don't think we're in.
Yeah, curl then. It's a corner guard right now. Okay.
I think the call was maybe to come into the rings just by the weight call from the sweeper saying, don't think it's in. Meaning that was maybe what they were hoping for. And that one actually doesn't curl. Ends up in a bit of an awkward spot for Canada.
Sofia Maberg, 25-year-old. Was this team, the Olympic champions from a year ago. Lost the final of the Worlds last year. Trying to get a little revenge against the country that beat them in that championship.
Vi börjar få snart insida. Japp, Sara. Du kan gå. Gå då också, Agnes. Gå, 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 gå.
Gå, gå, gå! Jag gick jätterakt.
Trying to use that mistake by Canada.
Okay.
Probably throw easy.
Easy. Think a little more still. Just a little, yeah. Yeah, just a tad.
Yeah. Coming around the outside there. Come around the center line side. You ever make a mistake, come up short, bounce off the guards, you end up leaving something on the center line this way. You're keeping the play to the wings, you keep that forfeit open, which is always good when you have the last rock. Looks to be running a little bit straight just down this path at the moment. Both that guard for Canada and the draw for Malbags. Not finishing huge. That might change as they start to play down the pebble, but we'll keep a look. Keep an eye on it.
No, you threw that perfect. Like, you didn't overthrow it, I don't think. Lite tight.
Bra linje!
Det är lugnt, det är lugnt.
8-4. Var med!
4!
Bara för!
Kommer vara lugnt.
Sweden's not only
Okej. Så lättar lite
solid
rakare.
playing their games, they're pretty solid with the draw shot challenge. They're top in the standings by far. Before this game, they had 21 centimeters on average. So pretty much putting 2 rocks on the button before every game starts. And that's why they have the hammer today as well. Just put 2 on the lid.
So come around not fully behind. Dana Ferguson, 32-year-old.
Okay, bumper. Yep. Yep.
Lefty going at this with her intern.
Rochelle.
Okay. Okay. Good, Dana.
Good, Dana.
I got
Well, able to
confused
manage
about
that one
cameras.
with the
What side do I go?
a little bit of a straighter spot.
That I.
See it running a bit straight a couple times in a row now. It's just kind of have to start believing what you're seeing.
Ignis Knockenhauer,
Bra linje!
second for this Sweden team
Tajta skott!
Bra linje!
in her 5th World Championship.
Sara! Rakar ut! Bra linje!
Sara drar den!
Gå, gå, gå! Gå, Sara! Du har den, Sara! Gå, 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 gå! Gå, gå, gå! Lite till, lite till, lite till, lite till, lite till. Gå, 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 gå! Räcker det? Härligt, Agnes. Snyggt.
Bra.
Gå inte runt den.
Bra. 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 Härligt. Bra sagt.
Finds the line finally here. Gets that fully buried. We'll run back the call then for Canada.
Oh, yep.
No.
Oh. Yep. Yep.
Now trying to run this one back, get the red out, and will make contact. A roll a little bit to a center guard.
Yeah, didn't stick the shooter in the house, but as you say, rolls the thrown rock towards the center line, which is good. But I think you'll see Sweden peel that guard pretty quickly. They don't want to play around a center guard just again when you have that last rock. Keep that forfeit open. So Sweden not wanting to play around. They could have maybe played a hit and roll here, trying to roll to a corner, but first end they're more than happy enough to blanket, just keep hammer, maybe go again, go a little harder in the second for their 2. You're always a bit more patient when you have the hammer. You're playing 10 ends. You don't have to score huge and already in the first end.
Line's good.
Yeah. No, it's okay.
Sarah Wilkes now, the Canadian
Not
3rd.
moving yet.
Yeah.
And anytime you see Canada and Sweden facing off in women's curling, know you're in
It's
for a good
really not
match. They're
curling. I think it's all
two
there.
most decorated countries at the
13-7.
World Women's Championship. 34 medals overall for Canada, 24 for Sweden,
Good throw, Sarah.
17 Canadian gold medals, World Championships, 8 Sweden Championships. Sweden love to add a ninth to their list. They know they'll be into the playoffs. Canada, though, fighting to try and get in. Sarah McManus, the Sweden team that has cruised to 9 straight wins.
Jävlar, den föll. Det där är för rak sten.
And in case you wondered, out of all the games they played, Canada's up 56-22 on wins.
And the rules of play, 6 ends minimum, 38 minutes of thinking time with 1 60-second timeout. Of course, this year, the 5-rock free guard zone rule.
I got less, so it should be cool. Still running though.
Still tracking.
Okay, top 4. It's running even straighter.
Pardon, that was the men's statistic.
Really
For
tracking still.
women,
All you.
Canada, Sweden
Top 4.
at the World Championship.
4-8s.
34 wins for Canada, 21 for Sweden. So, guessing Silkeborg wouldn't mind trying to even out that statistic a little bit.
Add another one to the win category for Sweden, trying to even that up.
Get the straighter with every rock and roll there.
Are you RFS shot?
Actually on a 4-game win streak, Canada over Sweden. So Silkeborg's lost the last 3 games against Canada at the World Championship. Holman back in 2017. And
Twice last year, including the final.
exactly.
11-2.
Big sweep there. Maberg and Nockenhauer able to hold the shooter back of the 12-foot.
Bra, fint. Bra, bra satt. Var bara lite försiktigt, men det var 11-2.
Jag gillade inte den här sättningen.
Vad sa du?
Jag gillade inte.
I'll just throw a little bit of weight at it.
Yeah, because I think you might get some curl
I-
here considering how straight it
And
is
it's,
over there.
yeah, and
To
it's
roll to
not
that
fresh,
spot.
so-
You got a trust.
What kind of
It
weight?
was a bit tricky
Like,
playing
I
this
think I'm
far
gonna
out.
throw you firm. It'll probably come down to good normal.
I'll be playing here for almost a week, so I should know the ice by now.
I gotta throw firm at this, so it should come off a little fresh
But
out here. and it might
sometimes you'll
curl a bit.
see it run a bit straight all the way out here. But sometimes it might be just a bit of pebble, a bit of frost, something that the stone might grab onto. That gives you a bit more curl, so sometimes a bit of a gas,
Stay
but
down
the
on
ice has
the
been so
pencil. Must be
consistent
3
all
matches.
week,
This is
I
where
think
my
they
hit
should
for
know where to put the
2
broom for
really
this.
took off in the
Yeah, okay,
other game.
okay.
So first of skip stones for Chelsea Carey.
Okay.
Peel that one out. Kept her weight up on that
That
one.
nice, actually.
Yeah, just again, first end, you think, wow, there might be some fresh pebble, meaning it's just hasn't been broken down. There's a bit of bite to it. So you hate to throw it too soft there and see it grab and curl on you. So not uncommon to see players just add a little extra weight.
20.
Ja. 15-20.
But at the same time, sometimes the ice is just slightly lower out there on the wing, and it might not curl as much.
Känns där.
Bra linje.
Bra linje.
Börja byta nu.
Anna Hasselborg has to play the draw in the first end.
Bakfyra nästan. 14-5.
14,5. Borde kunna gå lite.
Räcker det? Bra.
Bra, Anna.
Bra, bra skött. Bra, där var det.
Just drawing to the opposite wing here,
Kul att det går.
giving Canada a new spot to play. Maybe get the roll out again.
Roll it your way if you've got it,
Also
Dana.
nice for Sweden to
Normal.
play that
Good
path.
normal.
Maybe pick up
This shouldn't do much
on the
on
curl
this
and,
side.
and the speed.
Chelsea carries. Final shot here in the first end. Without the hammer, nothing from the front end. Trying to make contact. Make sure you stick around.
Okay, good.
And that will, by the smallest of margins, stick around. Edge of the 12-foot.
9-9. Like after watching jag stod där och det gick ju rakt.
Ja, exakt. Sätt den ganska försiktigt.
Ja.
Tänk att ni kan få den att backa säkra 3/4. Behöver vi bara rulla lite grann ut. Sätter den ganska lugnt.
Ja.
Surprised. Like I caught it kind of green my first time. I was light.
Okay.
So final shot here. And Hasselborg to hit and roll out, blank the end. That's to keep the hammer into the second end of the game. And no problem for Anna Hasselborg in Sweden. They get the blank to start off the game. No score after one end to play. Session 18 from Denmark.
Yeah, they were better for the last few, but thank
I
you.
think we want to avoid this
blank.
side for anything where we need to bury.
Yeah.
It's really straight. So I think we start with the out turn for the guard. In theory, she's throwing a corner on this side because then they can get around it.
Yeah.
And then if she throws the corner, then I think we do the stagger thing.
Okay.
Like it?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, let's go. Line's close.
Be close, maybe a little down. That was a little down, but close. Maybe a little down.
Okay, line's good.
Weight's good.
You're watching live coverage, the LGT World Women's Curling Championship 2019. Sweden, Canada, we're on the last round robin day.
Right here.
3 sessions to go to determine the 6 teams into the playoffs tomorrow.
Go. Good sweep, guys.
Sweden
Nice
knows
control.
they are in to the semifinals. Got top spot in round robin wrapped up, coming in with a 9-1 record.
Plats just nu!
Mellan.
Okej, bra linje! Sara Sten!
Ner till varandra.
One thing that
Okej, gå då.
may actually be a bit of an advantage for Canada is take on this Sweden team. They've played them a fair bit. They know each other with some of the major events and do not see that very much. A hog stone for Maberg on the guard.
Nothing surprising there. I think just got a bit caught out, but yeah, like you said, look, I think the challenge a bit for Team Canada coming across the pond, playing in Europe. First, you maybe battle a bit of jet lag, and then you're playing a lot of teams you're not too familiar with.
Okay. Don't want to.
Dana.
We have to. We're close.
You gotta go
They're in a different country. It's
Hey, you're okay. You're okay.
probably just a bit different for them. I asked Chelsea Carey about it. She said she didn't mind and felt there was maybe a bit less pressure being able to be here. Not too many Canadians and too many people around, but yeah, it's been a little tough so far.
Goes back button and we'll look over USA, Scotland.
Sophie Jackson just looking for the blank here. Gonna hit the US rock, try and roll out.
Well, Scotland coming in 4 and 6. Have to win out to have any chance and then get some help. Give themselves some help.
Oh, wide throw from Jackson. Just
One, yeah.
a little bit of an in-out motion there and release. That one flashes and USA actually steals one.
So 1-0 after one end of play over on sheet D. We're keeping a close eye. As we are right, that's right next to us. Canada, Sweden, we're on sheet C for this game.
Close. Yep.
USA coming in the same record as Canada, both at 5 and 5. Scotland right behind at 4 and 6.
All you got, Sarah. Hard. It's close. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
Go on, Red.
12-4. Nice, Dana.
Good shot. Good. Just so straight.
Well, both ends fairly similar to start off, not able to get around the guard.
Well, Sweden wanted a corner guard in play here, but not crossing the hog line. We're not going to go too hard and put up the corner again. You might see them be patient and maybe wait it out another end. But with that center guard in play, anything can happen.
Well, just out the other side. And on the other side of us on sheet B, we'll take a look at Denmark and Finland.
Yeah, do you like, can I throw the same weight here?
Madeline DuPont with last rock, just drawing the forfeit, really. Seeing her make some outstanding shots this week. This should be pretty straightforward for Skip to draw that button, but first end, trying to find your draw weight. Not sure if it's quite there, just a little bit heavy from DuPont, and I think that's a steal of one.
Hey, look, and it is a steal of one for Finland, so 1-0 there. A couple of steals out on the board so far here in session 18.
Need a pretty good roll behind the guard. Knocking hour, but Canada able to fish it out. So try once more here. A little bit of a nudge towards the center line, but that's still partially open, almost fully open.
Team's getting caught straighter than maybe it was in practice, or just not the right weight.
Either or. I mean, the first one for Knockenhauer over curled a bit, but that was quite soft. Hit and rolls are hard, Luke.
Rochelle, yeah.
They make it look a lot easier than the average curler.
To make a perfect hit and roll and behind the guard, it is actually pretty tough to do.
Okay. 12-3.
That one right on the nose. Dan Carey maybe making a couple notes. Chelsea's father and coach of this Canadian team. Up on the coach's bench there.
Tough thing sometimes is you play a couple of shots down the same line. It might straighten out, it might get a bit straighter. Just trying to make small adjustments. Then you have then your third is going to go out and throw. It's tough to find the right line.
Canadian now coaching for Sweden, Wayne Madaw. Of course, he's done many battles against Dan Carey as well in their days, and Wayne Madaw coaching this Sweden team.
Another thing with the set and roll is you don't want to be too cute on the guard. That's why you see a lot of nose hits. You want to make sure they make the open hit, and then when they feel safe, hope to get enough curl to get that roll, but Sarah Wilkes here.
Good throw.
I don't know if she was
Sorry,
No, I
soft
didn't
or
mind it.
not enough weight. That over curls cashes on the guard. That's not really the tolerance at all. Be much better hitting the red stone and just rolling to the wing.
Bit of a gift to Sweden at this point.
For sure, and ends up in as a corner guard as well. Sweden will be pretty happy to try and score their 2 here, as we see Sara McManus just cleaning the running surface of the rock. Every player will do that.
Looks like they pulled actually a hair or some fibers out from underneath of the stone.
Well, it's a pretty big surface. There'll be some debris out there, and we'll stick to the rocks once in a while. So that's pretty routine for every player to clean the rock before every throw, and also activates the eye of the hog on the rock. That light you see, the green light every time it lights up, it's to indicate that the stone's been thrown before the hog line, and you actually have to flip the rock up to activate it. So if you don't do it, there will be no light, and that could be regarded as a hog rock. So
leaves it level with the other one.
I don't think this will do much. They're to this wing. What do you think?
So
Think it'll
Sweden
curl a little?
lying 2.
You'll get a little movement.
Like there with normal?
Yeah. Okay, you got it, Charles.
Roll it under the other one.
Okay. What kind of weight?
Normal.
Okay.
I like it. I think this will curl a little, but I
Yeah,
don't
I
think it'll go
think so,
crazy.
too. I agree, Charles. Yeah, we haven't seen anything
Well,
go
you
crazy.
said it, Sandra, on Sarah Wilkes, just
Even if we
missing it the
overroll it a
wrong
hair,
way.
just like to
That's
group
sort of
them
the
over
way the
there, give
week has
myself a
been
chance
for
for the
Canada.
double
They've
and
missed
then-
shots the wrong way, and it's cost them.
yeah, I
Okay,
think
normal.
Chelsea Carey, they played a pretty decent game against Switzerland too. Chelsea Carey just it's kind of the wrong side of the tolerance for a couple of really key shots that weren't necessarily that hard, and it cost them huge. And that game slipped through their fingers as well.
Easy, straight.
Straight, roll, 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 roll.
Oh, they want to try and roll it underneath.
Roll.
Okay, good. Nice call.
That's not too bad there, actually. Hides a portion of the yellow.
Yeah. Oh, I got 10-4. Yeah, I thought it was down, but
That was when they were trying to sweep to get it to curl, and then at the end had to sweep to hold it. They've overcarved it.
Jag gillar den här handen, vi vet hur den går. Tia, sådär, gillar du det?
If you roll perfectly underneath it, it's very easy run back for Sweden. You come partially behind it.
Gillar ni att spela den här
It's always a
handen? Vi
risk
vet hur den går.
for Sweden. They might
Min
touch
hade,
their own red first,
Lite mer
or
gris där inne.
ja, men det var min på
catch
träning hade ju
the
lite
yellow too
brytare
thin.
också.
Gillar ni den här isen på en 10?
Ja, eller lite mer, jag vet inte. Vi är ju upp på sten liksom.
Vi funderar på lite mer ändå, trots det.
Bara under, ska jag bara vänta
Bara,
på
ja,
micken?
men
Det där
precis.
känns bra.
Vill du Anna?
Ja.
Ja.
Sätter du den där?
Fin fart!
10-0!
Hasselborg has to be delicate with this one, try and roll it away.
Nej, nej, nej!
10. Nej.
Ni har...
Nej. Du måste gå, Agnes. Fråga.
Gå, gå, gå.
Gå, 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 gå.
Bra Anna.
Det är bra, Anna.
Det är bra.
Bra, 9-9, fin fart. Grymt lir Anna.
Det är bra.
She ends up catching that too
Bra
thick.
koll. Bra koll.
Leaves a pretty straightforward double for Chelsea Carey.
On this side.
Surprised that they played that turn at it, that they didn't try and play the intern.
Det var fin fart.
Tjejerna var lite... De var
Tyckte det var lite läskigt.
lite.
I mean,
Det var ju också närmare
any
linjerna.
turn
Det var det. Och
Hasselborg
Tia
wants to
bara,
throw,
jag
I'm down with
lite
it.
där på träning.
I mean,
Hon bara, då kan vi vänta lite.
she
på
seems to
den
make
första.
most of it, so.
Yep.
I think also because they were throwing down that line with the out turn,
Half a rock.
playing the hit and rolls, they felt pretty confident with the curl.
Easy peel.
Okay, got it. You got this, Chels.
Sometimes throwing, crossing the center line can be a bit tricky. You might see it run straight until it catches the center line, that gets some curl. So maybe they just wanted to avoid crossing the center line with that throw. Get a bit of a flatter roll too, with the gear effect of the out turn. There's not a lot of things I disagree with when it comes to Sweden.
You know, when they got it rolling like this, you don't want to question it.
Whoa.
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 Canada trying to make the double. And no problem there. Chelsea Carey makes the double takeout. Now set up for a second straight blank. Like you said, Sandra, was a good roll on her first that basically gave her this opportunity to play a double on her last.
Yeah, a couple good shots. Just keep it going. Even though Sweden's been pretty good this week, we've seen them make mistakes as well and give teams chances. You just have to capitalize on them.
So final shot of the second end to try and blank it. Retain hammer into the third. So 2 in a row, no problem there for Anna Hasselborg in Sweden. They'll keep the hammer and keep it a 0-0 game. Sweden and Canada in the LGT World Women's Curling Championship. No score yet here in our feature game.
Mine's good.
Lukola here with
Not
Sandra
curling.
Rovag. Canada against
Really, not
Sweden.
you, Dana, not you.
Okay, it's fine.
2
I
straight
just
blank
went for one.
ends. And a third
15-9.
consecutive end. We'll see a
Nice throw,
guard
Michelle.
to start things off. And a morning draw, maybe just a little bit different ice conditions for them.
Well, we could ask ahead ice technician Stefan Röttlersberger, but from my experience, sometimes in the morning the ice has been just lying there all night. Might be a touch colder. It's a bit colder outside in the morning. Usually colder ice means it's a bit straighter. Not sure if that's the case, but it seems to be moving just a tiny bit less than last night. But you still, that one's over curling, so.
He's warmed up, worn in a little bit, a little more sweeping, a couple times down the ice.
Could be, yeah.
That looks more better. Yeah, a lot better. More better.
Did not take a lot of ice for that shot either. Just middle of the 8 foot, so it's still curling about 4 feet that way.
So I think I need to maybe give it a little bit here. Got it. I think it takes more than what I threw right here even. Yeah.
We'll have a look to see if the speed
Line's tight.
remains close to the same as this
Gotta
week.
go line.
Say I've seen most draws be in between maybe 14-3, 14-7, around, so 14 and a half should be pretty close.
Gotta go for line.
13-5, they're wanting it all the way down to the back red, so
Clean.
with some sweeping,
Yep.
you can see that the ice is still pretty keen, pretty quick. That's even through the rings with the sweeping. Pushes that red one out, so it's pretty perfect weight, I'd say. I think a lot of curlers I know, 14.5 seconds is pretty perfect. Not too quick, not too slow. Just really good, really nice, really comfortable.
Well, both these leads, a few struggles in the early going, but they're right at the top percentage-wise. Top half of the lead throwers.
Because that first draw from all bags ended up open in the back, we end up trading shots a little bit again, but Canada making a bit of a move here. So you might see them play the hit once more. So soon we're sweeping, they're trying to roll a bit away from the center guard, so this shot wouldn't be available to Canada.
Canada playing this freeze, this in an odd end. They're trying to say we want to force Sweden to score.
Yeah, also, the shorter the game becomes, the more blank ends on that board, the more significant the hammer becomes. If Sweden ends up scoring a 2, you'll have less time to turn the game around if there's less ends. So just trying to force the issue a bit, try to get a score on the board either way.
We'll take a look at sheet D, another open end. It's that one top 12-foot belonging to the U.S.
Yeah. Had the blank attempt in the first end as well, ended up flashing it. USA stole one, so trying to make up for it here. This time on the end turn. Flashed on the out turn with the first one. And this one's actually over curling, so a bit of an overcorrection here. Actually noses it, but not too bad. They're tied.
Well, an 8-end game now between USA and Scotland. USA 5-5, Scotland at 4-6.
So again, Sweden just looking for some separation. They get it. That's pretty perfect, actually, from Knockenhauer. Gets all chisel on that red, pushes it over.
Well, all of the Canadian players in for a tough matchup against Sweden, but front end, could argue Knockenhauer and Maberg right there, not just their sweeping ability, but shot making on the front end, world class.
Yeah, there's just it's pretty solid from lead through to fourth. Barely any of them have a bad game. They're really a unit, and they can communicate really well. I think you'll see that later in the game when things starts to become a bit more tricky. They all kind of pitch in, and they're pretty democratic about it, but not in a messy way.
Let's take a look in at Latvia taking on Korea over on sheet A, 1-0 Latvia leading.
Kim Min-ji in some trouble here. Lots of Latvian rocks in the house. Trying to score one. They quite like to win this game, Korea. They might keep their second spot and get a bye into the semi-final, and that's a really nice double by Kim Min-ji.
Korea will be playing Scotland in their final game, as that's 1-1 after 2. Meanwhile, was a double made by Dana Ferguson. Was just trying to hit and roll. They end up making over curl, make the double.
So just to mention that again, 6 teams to the playoffs. Top 2 will get a bye right to the semi-finals. And the next 4 will be playing in 2 quarterfinals. So pretty significant advantage to get one of the top 2 spots. Sweden already has their number 1 either way what happens for the rest of the round robin.
Okay.
Change of plan to try and catch it thin, make that double. Is it a biter? We'll slide over and take a look at that in a second, but Denmark, Finland first.
Looks like Denmark's lying one. Unless Julie Hög's hiding something. It'll be a draw for 2 for Madeleine Dupont. Missed that draw for 1 in the first end to give Finland the steal. Full heavy this time, Lina Knudsen. And sister Denise DuPont sweeping, even Julie Hög coming out to help, trying to drag this far enough, just needs to outcount that yellow, and they get there.
Oh, very nice. Big sweep. They earn their 2. Denmark with a 2-1 lead over Finland. On sheet B.
I think they're the same.
And with that one, I think Sweden figured that one in the back was out.
Pretty similar.
Canada's going to hit it to make sure of it. After the peel of the center line guard.
11. Yep.
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 Yep. Hard, right to it, 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 right to it. Good. Nice.
Probably 11.
So sits back of the 12-foot, looking like we're destined for a 3rd straight blank end. Right now, Sweden has the hammer. They have no problem doing that, especially in the even ends.
I don't think they mind, and maybe even just saving a bit of energy, running the stones up and down, less sweeping.
Probably wouldn't mind even blanking it all out and playing 10 in a 0-0 game. Probably won't be, but
No, I think it's just a bit calm before the storm here.
well, tightening every blank, as you said, tightens the game up. Makes it shorter and shorter.
10-7 out of her hand and 10-9.
Sweden knows Canada needs to win.
On the nose is good.
Okay. Okay.
They're trying to get into the playoff picture.
Go easy.
Okay. Speed's running pretty true here.
Yeah, it's not bad. I think I can.
Yeah.
I don't think I need to do anything special.
No,
Just like
no.
easy, it'll be easy.
Yeah.
Canada is tied for that final playoff spot right now, along with Japan and the USA. But their losses come to teams that they're tied with in that. And that does not bode well for tiebreaker scenarios.
Okay. See? Easy.
They want to give themselves a chance to get into those tiebreakers by winning these games today.
Do have a good draw shot. They're 3rd ranked.
Yeah, little.
Might come into play for them.
Oh, okay.
And we'll hit roll out. Wide open
I just need
spaces
less
in the
ice than
rings.
Sarah right now, and that's
10-5.
fine.
Yeah.
Look at all the scores here in session 18. Latvia and Korea 1-1 on sheet A. 2-1, as you saw. Denmark leads Finland on sheet B. No score yet in our game on sheet C. And then 2-1 Scotland lead as they steal one in the 3rd to lead the USA 2-1 in the 4th.
Robert. Ny linje. Bryter lite mindre än förra här.
Well, looking like another blank end, but it hasn't been open play from the first stone. We've seen a guard to start every end so far.
Topp 4. Går det Fia?
Bra, känner.
No.
Bra.
The second end, Malbergs hogged that corner guard. That kind of made the end a bit more open. And might have to blame her a little bit for this end as well. She came deep, open, let Canada make the hit.
So all you leads out there, you know your stones are important.
Same weight.
Yeah, it really dictates the end.
That weight seemed good, didn't it? I didn't ask what
10-5.
it was.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
perfect.
If that was deep and fully buried, this, we could have seen all the rocks in play.
Okay.
Got it, Chelsea.
Nice, easy.
And I think you'll see that if you play lead for enough years, you'll really start to see a pattern. Put your rocks in the right spots. You usually do pretty well. You're gonna
Weight's good. 10-5.
have a good chance of
Dana.
doing well in the end.
Michelle.
You miss, you're really on the back foot.
Okay, you're not getting there. Okay.
But also just how the end plays out. If you get a blank or you get a lot of rocks in play.
I just didn't know did that. Sorry, I just slid tight and I was like, oh, I tight iced myself. I better not just let it go here.
You see Chelsea Carey doing a little bit of stretching.
That's a long week, long round robin. This
Yeah.
is game 11.
Yeah, might start to take a little bit of tolls on your knees and your hips. Typical problem areas for curlers.
We will throw this one through. We will keep it scoreless through 3 ends of play. Sweden taking on Canada in the World Women's Championship.
Kvällar lite. Det var lite shit då.
Really sleepy.
Do we ever just throw one guard this way? Because they're going to go hard for their deuce, right?
I think this is the exact situation where we throw the stagger.
Okay. I was just thinking, okay, sure.
Because when we cut off the corner, I like it here if she throws a corner.
Okay.
Okay. Just keep plugging, yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna.
Line's
All
good.
there.
That was close. Okay, weight's close. Little hot. Should be okay.
Line's good.
No score yet. Our feature game, Sweden taking on Canada. Luke Coley here with Sander Rovag for the morning session on a Friday in Silkeborg, Denmark, the LGT World Women's Curling Championship 2019.
Nice, Rochelle.
Well, fourth end. Fourth time we'll see the start of the end with a guard by Rochelle Brown. Sofia Maberg tops among the leads, 86%. What you expect to see, Sander, from the Sweden team. They're right near the tops of all positions.
Well, they've been they played a few championships where they've been pretty solid all the way throughout. Lost the final at the European Championships a couple times. Last year, it was Jennifer Jones that was supreme and just went undefeated. Beat Sweden in the final. I think they're becoming pretty comfortable, though, being the top gun, the favorites. I don't think they'll be too nervous if they make it to a final on a good run.
Well, they played in a few big stages. See Rochelle Brown, 83%. She's fourth among the leads.
2, 1.5.
Needs to curl.
Okay. Lines or weight's pretty good.
Well, it's been a while since Sweden has won a world championship.
Just past Pioneer.
Sarah, if you can, but
Just
okay,
past
no,
Pioneer.
only if
I
you
don't
can.
want to.
Okay, okay, that's fine.
Trying to stagger the
Good job,
guards.
Good.
I think I need ice like on the center.
Take a look
like,
at
wrist off
Denmark
center.
and Finland, host country. Danes leading 2-1.
Una Costa with an open hit, it looks. Score 2 here.
Hej, Tidano, stopp! Izuka, Lahen, jobb! Hej!
It's going to look pretty good, just needing to finish a bit to get that on the nose. Good looking shot.
So 2 for Finland and a 3-2 lead over Denmark after 3 ends of play.
Piti sanoa nimi.
Well, Sandra, you said it was the calm. Here comes the storm. 2 centerline guards, the corner.
Like a 410.
Game on, Canada, Sweden.
I think Chelsea Carey just realizing that can't let Sweden blank any more ends and make this game shorter.
Line's close.
Okay, it's close. Right,
83%
only right now, don't want to.
Don't need
Toppy.
to.
on the tournament for Dana Ferguson.
Line's fine, but can't bounce on this line.
Okay.
Third among the second stone
To it,
throwers.
just to it.
Line's great for 2-it.
We're
Pretty perfect stone positioning from Sofia Malbergstu. Nice corner guard. Brings it deep enough, wide enough so that in-turn path is still open for Sweden, and puts that second stone just fully in the 8-foot. So even with a good freeze, there's lots of room to score. That yellow 4-foot is fully open.
Bara fråga. Ja, jag tänkte också på det. Det är någon dubbelcenter. Känns nice att gå på en till, tror jag. Vad sa hon? Ja, men det är bara att du drar dit. Ja. Kan man köpa den här gula? Du kan spela in vilken man har.
Get a chance to look in at Latvia and Korea. It's a 1-1 game. Korea coming in, trying to still vie for that second spot.
Looks like Iveta Stasas Arsuna. I think she might be looking at a quite weight double on the yellows to score 2. Taking quite a bit of ice, but maybe throwing soft weight to try and hold the shooter.
Well, get rid of both of them. You can bring the other ones into play.
At least get the slash and score your 1, but this one seems to be over curling. It's just going to stuff it. Looks like a steal 1 for Korea.
So Korea have a 2-1 lead over Latvia on sheet A. Korea doesn't want to overlook Latvia. They've already dropped 1 to Finland. Was on sheet A as well. Meanwhile, as Nockenhauer makes a fantastic hit and roll, just papered the guard.
Yeah, they were actually stuck between 2 options. They either want to peel the center guard to open it up, or they're looking at the freeze. So I guess they ended up with something in between.
I don't know what else we do. Like, I can see half of this.
There, I have nose.
Let's play this. Okay.
Either that or you do this.
Yeah, that was the other thing I saw, but does that help us? Better to you?
It doesn't really help us.
I don't know. That's what I'm wondering. Does that help us?
No.
Then probably this, right? Because then give Sarah.
Yeah. Hey. Here, you got it, Dana.
Even if you just hit it on the nose, we'll be able to get to it. Okay.
Here, high. You got it.
Canada chasing just takes that little miss by Ferguson. Great shot by Nockenhauer.
Yeah, this is not great. You put up 2 center guards because you want to try and force the play in around the 4-foot. And now you're in with your second, so you're peeling these center guards.
Get one of them. Oh, just over the top of those 2.
Good throw. Good, Dana.
So close to at least getting one of them off.
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate. And of course, by peeling, throwing peel at the center guards, you do open it up again. Which is good in the way that Canada can access those red stones in the top 12. But it's bad in the way that Sweden now allowed to draw in lie 3 and keep that center a bit more open for them. They're pretty comfortable with this setup.
Nockenhauer, 85% on the tournament. Second among the second stone throwers.
Looking a bit heavy here.
Haven't seen this too much, but it'll slide all the way through and out of the rings for Nockenhauer.
It happens sometimes that the ice will be a bit quicker running to the wings because most of the play is along the center of the sheet. So especially in the 4th end, now all the pebble is broken down. It's just there's just no frost along the center. So you throw that rock down the center line. It's been running in the good stuff, as you sometimes hear them call it. And then it comes off that slide path as well.
Whoa, whoa.
And just it starts to run on you.
Sarah Wilkes, second among the thirds percentage-wise on the tournament. Will make the double. So there's a swing, the miss by Nockenhauer, the double made. More importantly, that clearing shot by Dana Ferguson allowed it.
Vilka kort? Nej, det kommer inte. Var bara lite med här. Här var Annas 10 gick ganska rakt.
Exact same spot where Hasselborg left a double for Chelsea Carey 2 ends ago. Shouldn't the spot. Doesn't curl a lot. So it's starting to grab just a bit here at the end.
Gå, 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 gå.
Again, just under curling. Found that line.
Bra Sara, bra Sats.
Bra spelat, Sara.
Well, you saw the number 86% for Sarah McManus. It's 4% better than that of Sarah Wilkes, who's second among the thirds. 4% over 10 games is a lot.
It's actually pretty huge. You rarely see that big of an advantage
10-7. Yep.
between the first and second.
Hard.
Right to it.
Hard.
Right up, right up, right
Hard,
up.
hard, 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 hard. Good. Nice. Good sweep, guys.
Nose hit. Never wanted to leave it there.
Yeah, pretty. It's the center guard, right? So again, just quite happy to try and keep things in around the forfeit.
Big difference between sweep.
Trying to force Sweden to come around the tight center guard. They could have played the head and roll off of it, just rolled onto the rings. Silkeborg saying they feel like they have to come around. I'm not sure if they have to, but they are going to. I don't think Canada will mind here, especially if this one maybe comes a bit deep.
Nothing from the front end on this one. Well, it goes well deep back of the 8-foot for McManus.
It's just a second draw for her in the game.
Hade ju kunnat vinna cornern också, men hade ju kunnat vinna cornern också, stod jag och tänkte på.
It's tough to find the weight when you don't play a draw for a while. In practice, you can see these girls just put it on the forfeit 10 times in a row. Playing a game is so different. You play 2 rocks every 15 minutes or so.
Hair short, it's okay as long as they're buried.
Slide over. Keep an eye on
13-8
USA,
on that.
Scotland. Big game, 5 and
So
5
it's
Americans
decent.
against 4 and 6 the Scots. 2-1 Scotland leading.
Yeah, that's what we were thinking.
Jamie Sinclair will be chasing that Yellowstone on the top of the forfeit. I think trying to punch it through the hole in the back. Try and stay for a score of 2. Won't necessarily need to punch it through the hole even. Just going to make sure not to jam it straight back on their own red. Good sweep by Taylor Anderson early, trying to keep this straight. A little bit off and on. Should be pretty close here. Definitely on the yellow. How far do they roll? Not too far. It sticks for a second shot and 2 points.
A nice shot from Jamie Sinclair to take the lead 3-2 after 4 ends against Scotland.
Nice, great weight. Good throw.
Both of those two teams have beaten Canada.
Ja, men kanske.
Canada here comes down, sits back 4 foot.
Ja, exakt. Jag med. Gillar du det där?
Ja, det är ju
Canada want to go frozen on it or try and just leave it straight short.
It was either or. Wouldn't mind being in front of the tee line if they got it fully buried. But when it didn't quite have the line,
Alltså jobba med den
it's
som att
safer to try and bring it a bit closer to that red.
Om något så är det ju lite överkall.
There's no way Sweden can hit the yellow and lie 2 here, so you're just going to have to follow.
Bara unset.
You can see how much trouble you get as soon as you play around a center guard here with last on advantage.
Är det 20-15
You
eller?
don't put the draw in a perfect spot. All of a sudden, lots of play in around the forfeit.
Riktigt sådana skott.
Just giving you a lot less room to score 2 points.
81% in the tournament for Hasselborg, as is her team right at the top.
Bra linje!
Låt dig jobba!
Ligger där!
Plats!
Vänta!
Nej, det är egen! Säkert skott bara!
You really can't afford to be heavy and bounce off here.
Inte frys.
Seen a few down this spot. Need to put this one right on the face, on the LGT logo.
Pretty good.
Bra skött, jättebra skött.
Wanted to leave that an inch short
Jättebra skött.
instead of
Jag sa till
a
tjejerna.
little tap.
Bara se till att ni
Might
skott
be able
oavsett vad bara.
Play the exact same shot. Tap that redstone back 2 inches. Might be shot.
But you'll be
Maybe
throwing
not.
less weight, right?
Yeah, but
It'll
just
still
I
make
think
it
just
very hard for
less
Sweden to
hurt us.
score
We were
two.
nowhere near the guard, right? Like that? As I had here, right?
No, you had less than that.
Okay. So then that should be
Yeah, you got it,
similar to a
Charles. Right
touchless.
up.
We have the line we can tap it a hair to be shot, but sweep for a freeze early.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the right
proportionally.
mindset for this shot. Don't want to think to bump the red, you end up overthrowing it. You
Probably don't need a ton less. That ended up only being
tap and roll,
full back for us,
leave
like
it open
3 feet,
for the
2
draw.
feet.
2 feet, probably good 2, 3. Yeah.
Just play for the freeze here.
Got this shot.
Get the line. The sweepers can do the work. And get that little tap, maybe get shot stone. Even just leaving this a foot short makes it a lot harder for Sweden.
There's the lower numbers for the Canadian skip right in the middle of the pack.
Mine's good.
Tied for 7th with that 73%.
Top 4. Okay,
Wait only.
Little room. Okay.
Wait as long as you can.
Top 4. Easy. Yeah, you can go.
There
Yeah,
you can go now.
Yeah. Start.
Right to it.
They got the line now, so just sweeping for weights. The sweepers wanted to go, but just waiting on the skip and vice to let them sweep it.
Guys.
And
Sorry.
like I said, just leaving a foot short there, that's fine. That's
You're good.
making it a lot harder for Sweden.
Better there than being heavy and rolling off.
Exactly.
Getting nice there.
Yeah, it's really nice.
That is always the tolerance.
Den finns va?
Ja, ja.
Har man bajslock här?
Bara
annars
tappa,
under?
eller?
Eller
Jag tänkte hålet.
Ja, för bara det var så jävla rakt här. Men
Va? Vad sa du?
det går ju så jävla
Men det
rakt.
känns som att det är lättare då att träffa hålet egentligen och sen switcha. Vi behöver ju bara dit
Ja,
egentligen.
jag
Vi
gillar det.
behöver ju bara bajta här.
Ja, vi ska övergömma bakom den där långa.
Du ska kalla en halv sten efter den där, det kan
Ja.
du göra.
Håller den där ute och sen bara...
Both draws are probably makeable, but on the left-hand side here, very tough. You're pretty much having time to shave that stone, just play by carry and sit right beside your own red. So there's a bit more space coming this way. They were saying it's a bit straighter,
Gillar du Fia?
and that might help them as they're trying to navigate that port.
Hur vill du lira den?
And that yellow guard is essentially the one they need to come around. And it's pretty high, so
Jag sätter den inte så jätterakt då, så att den
if they
har
come
ger lite
close enough to
chans.
that one, they should be able to curl enough to get to the button. Saying they have to probably over curl that yellow by half a rock, and that should definitely be possible. So just throw the right weight, put the room in the right spot, and there you go.
It's that simple for Anna Hasselborg. And they're getting off this one right away.
This is the if there's any weak side to Anna Hasselborg, it's maybe the in-turn draw.
Hade ju knappt varit, hade ju varit massivt.
They leave it for her. Canada gets the force. The missed draw. We don't say that very often, but Hasselborg with the miss. And the first score is 1 for Sweden. They lead 1-0 after 4.
Men det var ju
You know what I mean? It just looked a little dead and it was curling out of her hand, but it might also be shitty over there because we haven't thrown it yet.
Okay.
Keep an eye on it. Yeah, really good end. Okay. I think we play, well, we either play a tick or we go around. She's throwing double
I like
centers.
a tick.
Pick a tick,
In
that's our
5?
call.
Yeah. I like a tick. Carry hammer into 6 if we can.
Yeah.
Tick.
Yeah.
We have our first score of the game. It comes as a single point. Canada gets the force. They now have the hammer as we play end number 5. Similar start this time. It is Sofia Maberg. Put up that center line guard. Not a lot of teams are playing this strategy with the tick shot. Seen a bunch of the Canadian games, and they like this strategy throughout the game.
Well, Rachel Holman's team and Lisa Weigel, they've played that a bit through the years.
Yep, line.
I've actually seen Jamie Sinclair's team do that quite a bit. Monica Walker has been taking center guards all week. But yeah, definitely not everyone. I think maybe Canada and the USA are the two teams that I,
Okay, that's good.
at least right now, can remember playing them. This is beautifully played. Again, it's just trying to stay away from that center line. Try not to get too sucked into that forfeit like we saw Sweden ended up being in the previous end when they came around that center. A little bit deep. It's just like walking on eggshells when you play around the center guard with last stone. It's a chance you'll have very little room to score. That's what we saw with Hasselborg's last draw too. She had to draw a side button through a port to get her second point.
So this surprises me a bit that Sweden went and hit that right away. Sometimes you see the tick and you'll put the center guard back out.
Yeah, they're up by 1, so they're going to say, well, Canada, you have to make the aggressive move here if you want to score your 2.
Look over Korea and Latvia, 2-1. Korea leads Latvia, and they have a handful in there.
Yeah, it's, the whole forfeit's open here for Iveta Stasas-Arsuna. That's a pretty makeable shot, but as soon as you start counting how many yellows, how many opposition stones are in the house, that comes into play a little bit. If you're drawing against 1 to the forfeit, you probably make it all day. But if you're looking at 5 thinking, well, if I miss this one, the game's over. Very easy to think. But pretty experienced Stasas-Arsuna, she's drawn the forfeit probably hundreds or thousands of times in practice and games. She'll be the one to throw this one. Try not to throw it heavy, give the sweepers a chance to bring it there for you.
Haven't done much on this one, other than a little clean.
Excellent draw again by Stasas-Arsuna. Her draw weight is impeccable.
Right to the button, so they get 2, make it 2-2 after 4, taking on Korea on sheet A. Meanwhile, Agnes Knockenhauer rolling to the center line. Canada trying to get a chance to make a double and get out of the end.
Yeah, I think they'll be quite happy to maybe even blank here. Being the 5th end, especially Canada, are, from what I've seen this week, are quite keen to control the even ends. Right now there's 6 ends to play, 6 hammers. You'd think 3 each. If you blank the 5th and then you control the even ends, now you're playing 3 hammers against 2. Also maybe have the last one advantage in the 10th end that teams often prefer.
Well, we've seen from Sweden, they've really dictated the way games have gone. Numerous times they've had the hammer playing that 10th end. Just the nose hit, so there's a double now for Canada to get out of the end. So we'll look over. See 3 finished stones in there. They lead 3-2 over Denmark.
Yeah, all in the 12th foot though, so lots of room here for Madeline Dupont. Should be pretty straightforward.
Always a nice sign, the sweepers just cleaning it up.
Either means they're happy or exhausted.
And they're good, get their single point, so all square on sheet B, 3-3. Meanwhile, Dana Ferguson makes the double. Looking to run this one through now. Canada trying to keep the hammer into the second half. think if you're Canada coming in, you know you need to win. You can shorten it. You get 3 hammers to 2 into the second half of the game. You have to like the position you're sitting.
Yeah, I think Canada's pretty happy with it. If you told them before the game, they'd be 1 down with hammer and 6. I think they might take it.
I'd probably sign up for that every time.
Especially playing Sweden.
Okay, clean only, just clean. You're on the nose.
A lot of teams been in a lot more trouble at halftime.
So right on the nose, trading hits for Sweden. It's been a little bit of a dry spell at the World Championship as far as gold medals. The second most overall, but haven't won since 2011. Last time it was in Denmark as well. Annette Norberg beating Canada in that final.
Annette Norberg seemed to win quite a lot.
Well, Annette Norberg also a team that held the European, World, and Olympic title all at the same time. Hasselborg can do the same.
Pretty sure that team's an inspiration to the team on the ice here today. There is a chance they might dominate for a couple of years if they can keep this up.
Just a few more years, probably. I'm sure they already have their sights set on 2022 and trying to defend their Olympic title in Beijing.
Very nice.
Well, I asked Knockenhauer about it. If they're going hard for the next Olympics, and she's like, at least 1 more. It's like, this is what we've been playing curling for all our lives. This is what we've been working for. This is the enjoyable part, so they want to keep this high as long as possible. Of course, not easy to do so. I mean, you have a target on your back. Everyone wants to beat you. If you keep winning, to have the motivation to keep doing it, I think, is just as hard as actually winning the first time. Not that I would know, Luke. But I think what makes a true champion is you win a title and you work twice as hard for the next one.
Because everyone's gunning for you. Yeah. Everyone wants to beat that.
And good teams have set the standard, right? Through the decades, there's always that one team that takes it 1 step further, and then it makes every other team take it up a notch.
And that's where this Chelsea Carey team on the Canadian side coming off Canada, the back-to-back defending champions, but it was 2 teams in Canada. Jennifer Jones last year, Rachel Holman the year before.
Should curl a little here.
Chelsea Carey had to get through to get to this point and drive them.
I think it's not necessarily a lot easier to win a Canadian championship than a World Championship. I give a couple of Canadian teams a chance to medal here this week.
There's only 5 previous Worlds where Canada did not medal. One of them was Chelsea Carey in 2016. Canada's only ever missed the playoffs twice at a World Championship. 1982 and 1999. And a pretty darn good curler and world champion Colleen Jones. They're definitely the 2 curling powerhouses in the women's game over the 40 years of this Women's World Curling Championship.
Sweden looking pretty relaxed out there. With the Olympic gold and all the other medals you might garner, it'll be easier to get sponsors in. They'll have more help, so you might see them improve even.
Well, they're very professional the way they go about it on the ice and off the ice. Manage their time. Very scheduled, very structured how they go about it. It's like clockwork in the hack for all 4 of them on the routine that they go through. So Chelsea Carey wants to blank this fifth end, retain the hammer.
Easy feel.
See some high-scoring games. This a low-scoring one. 1-0 at the moment. Carey trying to keep it that way with this last stone in the fifth.
Goal scoring doesn't always mean not exciting.
Clean.
It's been lots of great shot making so far in this one. And that'll do it. So another blank goes up. It'll remain a 1-0 Sweden lead into the break. Session 18, the LGT World Women's Curling Championship.
And everyone.
Jag är bara tiken, men jag kan byta ordning om det.
Well, second end after a blank in the first, Sweden had a chance, set up there too. Chelsea Carey looking for the double, get out of it, force the blank, and Chelsea Carey, no problem, makes the double takeout to a second straight blank.
Yeah.
And then 4, last shot, chance for a 2. It's a tough draw on the in-turn for Anna Hasselborg, got to go wide around that guard. And the sweepers pull off early. It's not going to be there. And it's a single point for Sweden. The only scoring of this game so far.
Throw the stagger.
Okay. I was just thinking. Okay. Sure.
USA Scotland. Fifth end. Sophie Jackson facing a couple American stones. Out-turn draw into the 4-foot.
Line's good.
Try and tie this game up.
Wait, only. Not curling yet. 7. Not curling yet. We're really hanging wide. 8. We're on the guard just now. Curling now.
The line's good.
We're good. Just for weight. That's good.
And no problem, right in to score their single point. And it is 3-3 USA and Scotland after 5 ends of play. That's on sheet D. The other scores, Latvia and Korea, all square at 2 in the fifth end. 3-3. Denmark and Finland playing in 6. And of course, 1-0 in our feature game. Sweden up on Canada.
Yeah.
I give them.
Yeah.
Is it okay, Sarah?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it's good having one that we think has a little bit more finish.
A bit more finish,
Yeah.
I think so too. Yeah.
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 Just, just
But we
control
just
it.
need to acknowledge
Communicate,
that they
yeah.
are
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
they are a little bit.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good
So
house.
what do you think is going to happen in the second? What do you think they're going to do? You
I
throw it.
think we need to be very patient, but this was so boring.
I don't know. You guys made some good shots. Like the first 3 ends.
I was
We
just
are
saying to Rochelle,
focused
I
up
think
a
we
little and
play the tick, like the offensive tick on her first one, try to roll to the corner, because they're throwing double center, so I don't think we want to throw corner right away. And then see where we're at after that.
Sounds good.
make sure we keep our energy up because a game like this,
I
it's
know.
easy to
Lose focus.
just kind of lull you to
Lull,
sleep,
yeah,
right?
totally.
So keep talking to each other and
Okay.
We were saying,
keep it
I
up.
think we play the tick on Rochelle's first, because she's throwing double centers, right? So I don't think we throw.
Well, look at the numbers through 5 ends. Just that one score up there. Overall percentage advantage Sweden 86 to 81. Draw percentage lower for Sweden. Advantage 80 to 72 for Canada. 95, 82% Sweden advantage in the hits. 4 blank ends, a single in the fourth. And it is Canada will have the hammer to start the second half of this pivotal game.
situation where we throw the stagger.
Okay.
Well, all 4 sheets in play. Very tight games here in session 18. Luke Kohler here with Sander Rovag as we start the 6th end of our feature game. Canada, Sweden, 2 countries with the most world championship titles. Most world championship medals on the women's side. They do battle now on different sides of the standings. Canada needing to win, try and get into the playoffs, whereas Sweden, they know they are the 1 seed. They are into the semifinals already. Sandra, what do we expect here, second half of the game from both sides?
Well, it's funny, Anna Hasselborg in the halftime told Wayne Middaugh, this is boring. So we wonder if Sweden might want to crank it up a notch. And yeah, there's not a lot of scoring in the first 5 ends, but I'm enjoying it. It's because I know it's going to be a tight one. It's going to be exciting. I think when you saw the stats, Sweden not so good on the draws, but good on the hits. I think that's kind of the reason why we have so many blanks, because Sweden's draws haven't quite been in the perfect spot to put pressure on Canada. But then Sweden's been able to make the hits and tidy things up, and just the result of the 2 has ended up with not a lot of rocks in play.
Well, there's the tick shot by Canada. Doesn't quite push that Sweden stone into the rings. Let's see a center line guard go out in front. 83% on the game. Sofia Maberg.
A little bit different now than last time they played the tick. Both rocks ended up in the house, and Sweden was able to hit in line 2, and that's ended up having a hitting end. Now they're both in the free guard zone. Sweden puts up another center guard, so already here we have some more rocks in play.
Thought it was interesting about Hasselborg saying boring, but Wayne Middaugh saying, well, I thought you guys played really well, played some good shots. It wasn't like it was a run it up and down the ice type first 5 ends. There was moments of that, but later in the ends.
Yeah, stay on the positive. Here, Dan Carey say something to the Canadians as well. Just keep your focus. It's easy to lose focus when there's few rocks in play and a lot of blank ends. Hard to get as focused and involved in the game when there's less happening. So it's good advice. Just keep talking, keep communicating. Try and make everything out of every shot, even though they don't seem as key.
%, Nockenhauer really had one of those big misses in the first half, though, with her draw going through when they had a chance to lie 3 in the 4th end.
Yeah, that's what I mentioned, just a couple of those draws from Sweden not putting the pressure on Canada, and Canada getting off the hook. Sweden then ended up blanking. Happens a bit here again, this one popping out the other side. Canada will be able to chase it.
Well, time to get right after it. Dana Ferguson, 80% for the Canadian second. Trying to get to it and make the roll over. Just in between, sits in the open side of the forefoot.
Yes, I liked it, but then I thought you knew something, so I got on board. But like, no. I thought you threw it fine. Okay.
Look over Latvia and Korea, 2-2. Final stone of the 5th end here coming up.
Yeah, looks like Kim and Ji eyeing up a double on the 2 reds in the top 12 here. There's another yellow in the back of the 12. Could potentially be for a score of 3. Second red. So it's pretty close to their own yellow. They'll have to catch this pretty thin and catch it dead sideways here, not to jam it. Does jam just a bit, and the red doesn't go out the side door. I think that's just for blue 1.
I think just have to try and throw that harder.
A little harder, had to catch a little thinner as well. Had to catch it really just on the side of it, the second one.
So the single point for Korea. It is a 3-2 lead after 5 for the Koreans. They're trying to give themselves a chance to get to that 1 or 2, or the 2 seed. The 1 seed is all wrapped up by Sweden. No surprise seeing Sarah McManus, 88%.
Looking for the hit and roll again. Calling an audible here to roll around the corner. Instead, wasn't curling enough for them. Normally you don't necessarily want to put your rocks in behind the corner without hammer, but it stays so high in the house it's hard to freeze. And look at the center guard where it's at. Even if you wanted to corner freeze that one for Canada, you can't really do it. It's in the way, being so high. So the run back's the call.
Now a miss on this run back. Trying to roll that one under the center at least. The plan B, C maybe down the line for Sarah Wilkes.
She's like a robot.
It's in the house, but
Yeah, 9-9, I got it.
almost a second center guard for Sweden.
I curled. Yeah. You're literally throwing the exact same way. You're like a robot right now. 9-9.
You'd probably jump at the chance to come around the stones if it wasn't for the fact that the red stone's on the wing there. Anywhere you put it, there's a chance Canada might play the double off of it.
Bestäm du, Anna.
Vad tycker ni?
Spontant så tänker man ju in, men jag förstår vad du menar.
Det är ganska långskjut. Ja, precis.
Have a talk about it.
Ganska långskjut. Kan man lägga bara halvjämna och toppa? Den är ganska
The run
högt
or
upp.
the
Det går ju
draw?
rakt där liksom, det gör det ju. Det går ju rakt så att det borde ju vara...
Alltså jag bara tänker, om vi säger att vi är här, världens enklaste TT. Här är ja, självklart. Vi har ganska mycket att stanna på.
Jag gillar den också.
Om de sätter den micken då? Då är vi all in. Då är jag där.
Då får vi sätta
Ja,
den då.
den.
Då är det den.
Och jag blir inte
Eller
andra sten
jag,
på
va?
den. Då slår de och vickar där. Då sätter
Vill du ta
de.
time? Det är ett bra läge att ta time också. Ganska viktig omgång.
Sätter vi den, då är vi
Mark and
utanför.
Hour suggesting
Sätter de
time out.
micken. Får vi
Sweden will
frysa.
call it, so
Jag tror att det är...
Det är
Wayne
ju
Dahl on his
fortfarande
way.
lite trångt då.
Man vill ju komma runt, absolut.
Ja. Ja,
Jag
men se vad jag
förstår verkligen
menar.
vad du menar.
För att om vi är här, alltså även om vi är här, de sätter den rullen, kanske så att det blir svårt att sätta den för att ligga andra. Då är vi ändå, då bara så här, då måste vi värdera all in eller? Måste vi vicka
Kan vi dra här då?
Vill vi, eller ja precis, vill vi dra här?
Målet är ju
Och så-
jämnt hit ändå.
What do you like? You do?
But it's really important to the sweepers where you put it,
Yeah.
right? You don't want to put it on the button.
No.
This is max.
That's perfect, or back 8.
Oh, you rather go deep?
I would rather it be right where your broom
Yeah,
is. But the sweeper's got to call it on the
Do
way
you
down.
like? Do you think this is okay?
Yep, that's fine.
Yes, I'm just worried that they make this.
Then this is short.
Yeah, this is
Yes.
short, but
And
then
if they
maybe I
show
can't
something,
roll
we
in.
can
but-
roll back.
Yeah.
I think we have to come
Okay.
here.
Yes.
Yeah,
This is a good chance.
that's a really good chance, because if they play off that and don't make it, now we get 2 in
Yeah.
there.
And then we go, where do you think we go? Try to plant it here or there or somewhere?
I think the sweeper's got to call. The perfect shot is right where your broom
No,
is.
but I meant
This
after.
shot
If they
after.
miss this,
If they
and,
miss that,
and
yeah.
my first, just try to make it buried too.
Yeah, even if you only get a piece buried, it's really good.
Yes. Okay.
Okay?
Let's make this.
Let's make
Let's
it.
go.
Bra gård för det här.
Ja.
Bra ställe här, borde gå
Ja.
lätt och fint.
what I like about Wayne McDowell is
Anna, när jag lirade här sist så tyckte jag att jag
clear
var
in what
lite
he
parallell.
wants and what he would like to see the team do. Instead of asking a lot of questions, you end up spending a lot of time. You only have 1 minute really, so
14-7 här uppe, eller?
if he has a specific call in mind,
Vi har lite mer
just say exactly this is what I think you should do. And then they have your fifth opinion.
I think the most important thing of that is you can throw it Sweeper's got to call where it's going to be.
Yeah.
Make that decision early, either top biting forefoot or back 8 foot,
Something the girls already know, but it's a nice reminder.
just to reinforce it.
And the team was thinking quite a few moves ahead there when they were discussing. They were thinking, right, we come around, if we leave it half open, Canada makes that rolling behind the corner, then we don't make it back, then they hit her open. So on, so they're like thinking the whole end through, depending on this call, what could happen. And I think they're going to be stuck in between. That's exactly what they didn't want.
Yeah.
They wanted that top 8 or even back 8 to not leave the double for Canada. Still pretty flat, but I think it's makeable.
Think it'll run straight with firm, right?
I think so too.
Yeah.
So they spent 3 minutes
Yeah.
discussing where not to put it, and then you end up doing it. It's never a great feeling.
Well, a huge stone now for Sarah Wilkes and Team Canada.
Whoa, whoa, close, whoa.
Yep. 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 Hard.
Well, chance to make this double. Did they oversweep it? Hit, roll right onto it, bump it out.
Nice throw, Sarah. Good
And they are second shot. They overcooked it a little.
Yeah, just a little bit, but now 2 yellows in the house, and that Swedish rock partially exposed. I think Sweden are feeling too great about it still, even though they are shot stone.
You might be able to make that soft with the intern.
Yeah.
Ah, shoot.
Real close, yeah.
Spela den 8.
This is a tough call as well.
Har vi inte linje så är det okej att stanna här.
Jag spelar min första
It's the
sten!
right call, just a couple
Det är det
of
rakare!
Ja.
Får frysa en liten
Ja,
flyta på den.
precis. Men
well,
allt
different
som är
ways to
kortare är
miss
bra.
this one,
Ja.
which is not great.
Nu har vi lite mer is än den Sara hade. Så
No
skulle det
real
vara så
room
att
for
den
error
inte
on this
hänger
one.
kvar. Då är det bara så här, kommunicera att den
Skip
är bra
stones,
fart och
sixth
steker.
end.
Ja.
And we'll slide over and take a look as well. USA Scotland over on sheet D. Looks like Scotland line 1-2.
Yeah, I think so. Just the open hit for Jamie Sinclair. Could play the draw, but very comfortable displaying the nose hit here. Can even roll a bit in. Do they hold the shooter here, Sinclair? No, I think they're going to roll too far.
Steal of 1 for Scotland. They get the single point via the steal and a 4-3 lead after 6.
We're just saying both of us had like
Firm?
preference.
Play the out turn.
Yeah. Seem to be okay.
Both are nice. Yeah, whatever you like.
Okay.
You got this, Chelsea.
Firm.
Yeah.
Quick.
Well, 83% on the game.
Whoa! Yes! Yes!
Try to make this double. And look at that. Make the double sit 3 for Team Canada.
I didn't know what was happening over here.
Yeah, so two ways to miss the shot for Hasselborg. Over curl, tick out in the open, or not curl enough and leave it in the open. Ended up doing the latter, leaving the double for Canada, and this end has not turned out the way Sweden wanted it.
No, it seemed like they were trying to play that draw cautiously and left just in a rough spot. Double made. Hasselborg has to make the double just to concede 2.
It's a pretty tough one too. Are they playing it straight back? I just think they are. probably the slash.
That's the safer way to play it, right?
I think so, but it's still pretty tough because it's pretty thin. What happens when that first yellow hits the second yellow? You're having to catch a pretty thin piece of the second one for the first one to go out the side door. So as you hit the first one, it's actually spinning. Ends up spinning the opposite way you want it to spin. There's a good chance of jamming this one if you don't catch it thin enough.
Try and make the double back, and Hasselborg makes that look easy, clearing it out. But Canada has worked hard, earned themselves a 2.
Yeah, ends up playing it straight back there. Could see just enough. Turns out that was the easier of the two, but it came pretty close to the guards.
Fan, jag trodde inte att vi skulle kunna hamna riktigt där och inte.
Was the miss after the timeout by McManus and the miss by Hasselborg. Now Chelsea Carey to finish off the end and score 2 for the Canadian side.
That's what happens at this level, 2 half shots. You give away 2 points.
Well, it was a 1-0 game through 5. Chance here. Chelsea Carey to score her first points of the game, take their first lead of this match.
Can't hurt it, I don't think.
Good.
All you, line's good.
Running still. Okay. Weight's okay, Sarah. We're just top 4.
Line's fine.
Starting to curl now. Yeah. Nice, Charles.
Well, just guiding this one in. Chelsea Carey and Team Canada, a much-needed deuce. In this one, they score in the even ends. 4 ends remaining in this game. 2-1. Canada now on top over Sweden.
I agree. I agree with everything. I thought it was a little less extension than draw to the button. When you said that, I was like, good. Okay, I agree. So I just didn't say anything. Good deuce, guys.
Yeah,
Good job.
Nice
work.
It was a deuce by Canada. We play session 18.
Looks like it's top 4 to me.
The LGT World Women's Curling Championship. And a well played 6th end by Canada, but doesn't really start off the 7th end the way they want. Slides into the rings. Sweden will try and get the corner guards in position. Sweden's had success all week long, scoring multiple points with the hammer. They're going to try to do that right now. But Sweden did use their timeout last end. Wanted to talk about it, didn't get the results after.
Line's a little tight.
No. Wait, line's tight, she said.
Line's tight.
Really tight.
Oh my
Over
gosh,
and
it's
off.
not
It's
over,
another
is it?
corner. It's another corner guard. Over and off.
I'm worried we're not getting it over. Sorry.
That's probably better.
Oh, okay.
Well, just a rough pair here for Rochelle Brown. It ends up very long, just off the center. The first one went into the rings.
Det gick bra där när jag... Vad vill du spela för? 10,5? 11?
Trying to get the roll across, use their corner. Hit a little flip, will sit top of the 12-foot. See how Canada goes about it. The positioning, the first two for Brown, not in a good spot. Let's look at all the scores here so far in session 18. 3-2 Korea leading Latvia in the 6th. It's 5-3 Finland over Denmark in 7. 2-1 in our game on sheet C. And then 4-3 Scotland has the lead over the USA. Again, that USA-Scotland game, implications on the Canadian team depending on how they do in this one. Canada at 5-5, while USA at 5-5. Scotland 4-6. Got to get by the front and won't. So 3 misses by Canada to start off this 7th end after scoring a deuce.
Okay, was 13-2.
Okay.
Jag tror jag gillar så här.
Okay.
Ja. 10,5 eller? Ja.
At what point does Sweden, they sit here, lie to, obviously a good chance at 2. Try to position themselves to get that hammer into the 10th end, what looks like it's going to be a very tight game.
Well, they have the chance to score 2 back here in the 7th. I don't think they'll be blanking this one. It depends a little bit on what actually happens in this end, if they score 2 or 3 or 1. If they only score a 1 here, you might try and see them go for the steal in the 8th end to do so. Or else they might just try and force Canada to take a 1 in the 8th, maybe blank that 9th end, and that way get last one in 10.
Easy. Whoa. Easy.
Whoa.
Being 1 down here, I think they'll be quite happy to try and score 2 back.
Was normal.
Well, the hit, but again,
Okay, Dana.
another half shot by Team Canada.
Normal.
Vad var det?
9-5.
Det var 15 mål lekat hela vägen.
Jag hade ju ganska mycket mindre is. Nu är det den gula är i vägen nu, men...
Well, let's get a look at the hog-to-hog time at this point now for Nockenhauer.
Perfekt linje. 8-4. Jättefin linje. Helt er. Sara kan gå.
It's pretty consistent where it's been all week.
Yep.
Jättefin linje i den.
Yeah, it's just great.
Härligt. Snyggt.
Grymt blir. Bra skippat, Anna.
I think if you would ask a lot of the top curlers before the event, what hog-to-hog time would you like? I think 14-5 would be one of the top answers.
Easy.
Whoa.
important on all these that you stick around. You force Sweden to come after you.
Hard. Okay.
Okay.
So Canada hits the open one. Lies second shot. Sweden in a good position to get to this end.
Yeah, and this time they're going to just draw onto the yellow instead because they're lying shot stone. They don't really need to move that yellow. It's a much bigger chance to roll out. If you play the hit, the draw here, you have a bit more room for error. You can stop a bit short. Be a little wide. Make sure you lie two. You won't necessarily be throwing this to be dead frozen. Just stay in front of it. It makes it a little harder for Canada to perhaps make a hit and roll. A little heavy here. So see if they didn't take ice for the freeze, so I come up heavy. You're not going to use it as backing, but it stops in time.
We'll take a look over on sheet 8. Latvia and Korea, 3-2, Korean lead.
And Korea with shot stone in the top 4. I think this is a run back for Latvia. Try and run it straight back onto that yellow, maybe score 2. That's maybe not the shot that we see Stasas Harsuna play time and time again. She's extremely good on the draws. We'll see what she can do with the run back. Doesn't like it early. Don't want to take out your own here and give up more, but ends up catching it pretty thin. So that's going to be a steal of 1 for Korea.
4-2, Korea leading Latvia after 6 ends over there. Korea controls where they position. 2 games remaining. They win both of theirs today. They will be the 2 seed. Playing here against Latvia. They got Scotland in their last. Just trading shots back and forth here into skip stones.
Trying to chisel off the yellow and roll up underneath the corner.
Make sure that red one goes away. Canada did miss their first 4 shots. Weren't full made shots until third zones.
Okay, you got this, Chelsea.
Got it.
Yeah, looks like a 2 all day for Sweden here. Giving up a 2 in the 7th end here. Not the end of the world for Canada. And especially, as you say, that many misses at the start of the end. Giving up a 2 is so almost a let off.
Nose hit awfully close. Who is shot? It looks like it is just red.
Sweden's not sure they can
Less
play
and
the
less
hit,
ice
or
and it just
you
keeps
just
hitting.
play the draw again, but look to tap the yellow just a few inches.
Säkert skull, eller?
Vi kan ju frysa den, men jag tycker att banan känns...
Alternativet är att frysa och säkra dutta bara.
Vi kan bara spela den mot kroppen så kan vi bara sopa den på sista.
Jag gillar den.
Ja. Samma som du då.
Ja, 10,5.
Ja.
Mina 10,2.
Like the hit. That redstone they have is still pretty well protected.
Super close. Vågar inte
So
riktigt
even if
spela frysningen om det
she would roll out here, the 2's not out of the picture yet.
Så att vi kan vika ut och
Exakt.
krossfrysa där.
Precis.
Spela mot chappen men sopa ut den till
Ja,
vicken.
exakt.
No real shot for a 3,
Yes.
barring a mistake.
Well, if they're lying shot right now, they could be really aggressive and try and draw around it to try and set up for the 3, but I don't think it's worth the risk. But if Canada makes a mistake, you mean?
Yes.
Okay, it's kind of too late for that. I think if you make the nose hit for Sweden, Canada rolls out, they're just drawing for 2. It would have to be a very huge mistake for the 3 to come into the picture at this point. And they were hoping to maybe roll on top of the yellow, and that was the only way you could have maybe forced an error. But it sits in the open, so I'm pretty sure we'll see Carey remove that red. Maybe try and roll in for shot. Maybe try and roll to a different spot. Have Hasselborg throw a different line.
Nose.
Okay.
Little flip. Your way if you've got it, Dana, but we won't be cute for that.
Okay.
Same weight.
Yeah. Okay, you got this, Chels.
Chelsea Carey, her final shot of this 7th end. They lead 2-1.
Close.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Rochelle a little. Yep. Little bit. Okay.
And not second shot, or pardon me, shot stone. So
Okay.
it's like a straight draw for this second point here in the 7th end.
Okay. Sorry, it's a little more positive.
Yeah, that's okay.
Said whoa as soon as I let it go.
Det går väldigt lätt här.
Lätt på nu va?
Ja, samma bak.
Den ner här.
Can't cross it.
Yeah.
Okay, tough.
Jag ser det med locket då.
Ja. 20 eller?
Ja, det är bra. 22 hade jag på den.
Och vi litar på att min sten ska vara samma fart där.
Ja, det är
Ja.
det. Ett fint spår. 14-7.
So last stone here, Anna Hasselborg. 7th end, put this in the 8-foot. Opportunity to retake the lead.
Känsla.
Bra fart.
Känsla.
Fin fart. Ligger 10.
Går det? Den går rakt.
Var med Klara nu.
Bra Inge.
Ligger 10.
Kolla lite nu. 14-7. Borde inte kunna skada
This
den.
is almost as automatic a shot in the field, especially for Anna Hasselborg.
Bra Inge.
Could maybe played it blindfolded even.
She'll get it into the 4-foot, gets the second point, and a 3-2 Sweden lead. We're through 7 ends of play.
Det gick jättefint. Du hade exakt samma split på den. Både 30 här och 30 där. Bra. Bra känsla. Så farten är jättefina.
Ja.
Bra.
Bra. Nice att ta tvåan här och så är vi så.
Hallå, nu levlar vi dem igen som vi gjorde mot Jackson. Så nu drar vi en bra skotte tycker jag.
Ja. Ja.
För att de kommer ju ticka.
Jag
Alltså,
gillar
så
det.
annars så får de lägga corner så får vi lägga garden. Bra linje! Ha lite curlisar. Perfekt linje!
Welcome back to our live coverage.
Ser väldigt bra ut för mig.
in Denmark and the LGT World Women's Curling Championship 2019. Luke Coley joined with Sander Rolvag this morning or afternoon or night, wherever you may be tuning in from. These two women's curling powerhouse countries, Sweden and Canada, going back and forth. Seen as many points scored in the second half of this game as we had blanks in the first. But Canada's looking to get a better start than they did in the seventh end. Just didn't make a complete shot until third stones.
No, you score at 2 and then you start in the next end by just giving away the opportunity to Sweden. It's not what you want to do, but they're still within distance of beating Sweden here.
Comparison of the numbers, Rochelle Brown obviously lower, 2 misses in the last end, some misses early, 88% to 64% in favor of Malberg.
Yeah, she only had a couple of half shots in the early ends of the game. She's been pretty perfect since. That's really going to help Sweden in these last couple of ends, just to get them started on the right foot, just like here. Perfect draw and then perfect guard. That's what we're used to seeing from her time and time again.
The guard's in a good spot, forcing Canada to play this tick shot.
And that first corner guard didn't end up in a great spot either for Rochelle. Still high, a little too close to the center line. Really hard to actually come around that corner with that center guard in play. Doesn't quite roll far enough, but does open up to keep the left-hand side open at least. A bit of a stagger on the corner, so there's room to hide. That rock just stays in play.
Well, it's interesting. You saw the continuation, the follow by Sarah Wilkes that she got on that one. Hasselborg at first thought might hit the boards, and then Sarah's like, I can get this out of the rings. And it's in a not bad spot considering they didn't hit it where they wanted to.
Eller nästan dra den kanske. Japp, 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 japp. Japp, japp, japp.
Bra. 88% Knockenhauer to 73 of Ferguson. Advantage in the front end goes to Sweden.
See the hit percentages for Knockenhauer. That's why I don't want to give Sweden a 3-point lead. Very hard to come back from.
The missed run back will roll it off to another guard out in front.
Yeah, no, that kind of takes away that in-turn draw, the left-hand side as well. So no natural draw into the button for Canada. It's always a bit of a worry. And of course, that hole's going to be plugged by Sweden now. You're going to have to make one of these. Don't think you'll see a center guard missed anytime soon by Sweden.
Bra, härligt. Bra. Bra. Härligt. Bra. Jättefint.
Whoa. Rochelle. Hard.
Trying to see if they can get through this port.
Shooter right out. It was solid bumper.
Okay.
Won't get through. Still that one.
Okay.
Top of the 4-foot.
11
Yeah.
Canada got there too, and they just have been very loose with their shots. Haven't been sharp. Mistakes. Bunch of half shots.
Yes, especially the front end. We'll see if Sarah Wilkes can try and tidy this up. She's been the most steady player for Canada all week. Left with a couple of problems here. this one just a little bit around their own red center ground. That's a pretty good play.
Lie 2 as we compare thirds. McManus 88-86 for Wilkes. You said, Sander, what we expect from both.
Okay, bumper, hack. Probably bumper to make the roll.
Need a couple of good more shots from Wilkes here.
Nice. Here's an 11-2. Okay.
A steal here for Sweden is huge. Take control of the even ends, plus a 2-point advantage. Can't let that happen. Scoring 1 here for Canada. Not too bad.
Try and clear that one off the center. Want to get the roll behind the corner. Makes the hit.
Okay, good. It's good, sir.
Rolls big to the side of the 12-foot. Let's look in. What's going on USA Scotland over on sheet D.
Nose is good. Yeah.
Wow, just that 1 yellow in the back 4 for Scotland, and it's accessible to Jamie Sinclair. Come down, remove that. It could be 6.
They scored 5 the other day against Canada. We've seen a few other 5s.
Well, that 5, that was a run double by Jamie Sinclair. This is a much easier shot, but of course, knowing you can almost clinch the game by making it, makes you a little bit more nervous as we see Monica Walker just trying to carve it. Is it going to curl enough, or is it going to jam? It will, but they have that savior, and that's a 6 for USA. Incredible.
Wow. So 6 there for the U.S. makes it 9-4. The U.S. comes in with a 5-5 record. A loss there by Scotland puts them out of the playoff picture, coming at 4-6.
Put your broom down. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't see that very often.
Try that, or you want to run this?
I kind of like that.
Okay.
So getting awfully dicey for the Canadian side.
More points scored in that one end than the entire game we've been watching.
Close, yep.
Yes, they'll try and hold on to that. They have let some leads slide throughout. But Wilkes needs to clear the front. Try and make the double run.
2 great shots by Wilkes. Really good. That probably saves the single point for them. I'm not sure if Sweden take the risk in guarding here with that yellow in the 12-foot. Just absolutely crucial. Those 2 shots from Wilkes.
That's a end saver, a game saver in the way the standings are. A possible playoff saver. They can finish this one, end off, try and make sure they score.
Ja, men precis. Men vi behöver vicka så att vi blir bättre, de inte kan sätta vicken.
Nej, ja. Så vicka mot egen?
Ja.
Vilken fart?
10.
Sweden tried to win game number 10. All of those consecutively. They lost game number 1, 9-3 to China. So nose hit, they lie 2. Sanders still a chance at a skip stews for Chelsea Carey as we compare those 2 skips. Both mid-80s, good numbers there.
Yeah, for sure. Make a hit and roll. And behind the guard here. Get a miss,
behind that wall
get a miss from Hasselborg.
Easy normal.
2 is in play. Did not look like it a couple of rocks ago.
Speed underfoot should be okay
Wilkes
here,
with a
Dave.
hit and roll on her first, then the double peel on her second. Hit. And the big roll now off to the side. Does it sit for shot? It will be very close. Doesn't look like it stopped in time.
Wow.
Just a little miscall on Canada's part.
Samma spår som du rundade här, kommer du ihåg? Då hade jag det här.
They were so close to making that roll, instead rolling all the way.
Samma eller? Sitter det lite mer? Jag borde inte göra det. Samma.
Friskott?
Ja. Det känns som samma farter, det är bara så här lite kletigare. Ja. Man måste bara ha lite mer fart.
Nice thing for Carrie, she does know she'll have the forefoot open to get to.
Jag tror 20 funkar.
Alltså allt som är nedanför det
I
där
think
så
she'll
finns
be
det
happy
inslag på.
with that chance considering how the descent started.
20? Ja. Jag gillar det.
Det där kommer aldrig vara fara på garden.
Nej.
Vi ska ingenting, se lång ut.
Hasselborg's last. Missed a couple of draws so far in this game.
Kan vi dra den?
Den är bakom teamen.
Ja, gärna gömma den så mycket som det går.
Ändå bra skott där, eller? Bra.
Well, takes that one back 8 foot. Andrew might see a similar path.
I think I throw the same path too, Sue. Like it?
Yeah.
Here.
Okay, you got it.
Yeah.
I got 13.9 on this.
Yeah, so it's running the same.
Front end just confirming the weight and what they want to
Yeah.
tell. Chelsea
Should
Carey
be a
had the
similar
chance,
path to what
rolled
Anna
too
just
far
did.
on her first.
I had a 14 on that. It's back
Yeah.
8, so I think
So
it's the
it's
same speed as everywhere else.
Yeah.
Exactly what we were thinking.
Okay.
Kind of same situation as when you froze on her here. Like she had the
Yeah.
first one, then you had the second one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was good.
I can give you the same speed I've been giving you, I think.
Scoring an
hey?
8.
Okay.
This can tie the game up for Team Canada.
Okay. T-line.
Well, Chelsea Carey needs a draw to the forefoot.
Yep. Nice extension.
Line's good.
Okay. Are we there? Yeah, we're there. No backing. Hey, oh, there we, we're okay. T.
No backing. Gotta bite the floor.
Line's good.
4-4. Yeah, we're okay. Okay, T.
Well, this one looking real strong for the Canadian side to get their single right to the forefoot. Canada get an important single. And all square becomes a 2-end game. Sweden against Canada.
Sorry, Chelsea. Got up to sweep the roll and
Yeah.
missed the fucking line call.
It's okay.
What?
I just got up to sweep the roll and missed the line call. Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I said, I'm like, we obviously didn't realize how much it was bouncing because we were like ready to go on it, and then it was like, it shocked me too. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
That
It's
was
all
my
good.
fault.
It's okay.
It's all good.
Not your fault.
Lots of things before that.
That's why we're a team.
We got to go hard force.
Yeah.
So I think we got double guard probably unless they come around it. If they come around it, I think we can chase and freeze. Try to get a force that way, but if they go open side or whatever, anything else, I think we got to.
it all comes down to these final couple ends of session 18, the LGT World Women's Curling Championship 2019. Canada comes in 5-5, Sweden 9-1.
Hard, really gotta go.
I'm having a hell of a time.
Okay,
So all the scoring started in the fourth end.
Coming down there now.
4 scoring ends, 4 blank ends.
Heck of a time.
And ninth end, thought we might see the tick here from Sweden, but they're going right after it, going around the center.
Yep, there's always different approaches to things. This is maybe a better way of maybe keeping the blank alive. You play the tick, you end up with a lot of corner guards, a lot of shrapnel, if you will. Just something for Canada to always be able to come around and force you. You might score 2 that way. But I think what Sweden wants to do here is take control of the forefoot, come top 4, top 8, hope for a mistake maybe from the Canadian front end, and then be able to maybe blast that guard. Maybe Canada's left with no choice than to either take a huge risk or let Sweden have their blank.
Okay, wait close. Weight's good. Top 4, top 8.
Line's good.
Line's good. Yeah. To it. Maybe a bump. Little bump. Just to it.
Okay, Stara, stay down.
As this one comes in, we'll keep an eye. USA, Scotland 9-4 after that 6 put up by the US. What does Scotland have now?
Probably wish they were red at the moment, but you have that yellow in the back 8. So try and get the shot stone out here in the top 4. Avoid the jam, keep the shooter, score 2. They're still within reach.
Well, Silke Jackson coming off a 4th place finish at the World University Games. Their first World Championship. Avoid the jam. They get away with it. I think they might have just got away with the touch of that yellow.
Oh, yeah?
And 2 for Scotland, so that makes it 9-6. Not quite over yet, but Scotland lots of work to do without the hammer. So in a perfect world for Canada, with that stone coming up short by Moberg, Puttagard, do they want to get a force here in this 9th end?
Force would be excellent for Canada. They'd be happy to go 1 down with the last stone. I think both these teams quite happy with that situation. And try and score a 2 with hammer in 10. And that's exactly what Sweden wants to do as well, except now it's tied in the 9th. So perfect world for them is probably blank, be tied coming home. And with that guard being so close to the pre-existing guard, there's a chance you might see both of them go. Maybe a couple of rocks on the house as well. Just knocking her up to play.
Oh, that one all about to come. Finland and Denmark, 5-4 finish lead.
Looks like Denmark sitting shot stone in the back 4. Could be a difficult draw here for Una Kausta. Maybe a bit wide. Trying to carve this one in. Actually looking for the tap on the yellow. Taps it just a bit too far. And a steal of 1 for Denmark.
So a single point by Denmark. That knots things up at 5 each. 2 ends remaining in that game. Both those teams not in playoff contention. They're out there at 2 and 8. So trying to win game number 3 to the winner of that one.
We're there. Yeah, we don't need to sweep to get there.
Okay, line's fine.
2.
Can you finish it?
No, I don't think you want it any deeper than it is.
No, I'm just getting close.
Yeah. Good.
Good. Good.
Session 18, here's where we sit. Latvia, Korea, all score at 4 and 8. Denmark and Finland tied in the 9th end at 5. We're tied at 3 in the 9th end. Sweden, Canada, USA 9-6 lead. over Scotland in the ninth end. Sweden's going to take some time to talk about this.
De ju inte ens gadda den här.
De kan ju slå och ligga 2.
Ja, eller till och med bara gadda dragningen. För det kommer vara en ganska svår dragning om de breddar.
Vi har ju dragning på båda händerna.
Ja, jag vet. I och för sig. Ja. Jo, absolut.
Men det jag är rädd för lite är ju att de slår och ligger 2 i så fall.
Alltså att du sätter den här så.
Ja.
Den
så vinkar lite och den åker dit.
Ja.
Det är mycket för den att stanna på.
Ja, jag håller med.
Jag var inne på bara öppna.
Ja.
Ja, alltså det som ändå känns nice är att de kan inte gå direkt på sin och ligga 2.
Nej,
De
öppna då.
Alltså det de har är ju att runda här.
Ja.
Jag tycker inte det är en kanske.
Öppna.
Ja.
Gillar du det?
Nej, men att de har det menar jag.
Ja, de. Ja.
Nej, jag tycker... Nej.
Spela en sova.
Ta samma is!
Samma fina.
They took time to look at the angles of what they do if they just peel it, or are you trying to run this one into the house?
Just peeling it.
Are they possibly looking further on in the end of angles that you might have later to play?
Well, the thing is, right now they're lying shot, right? So they have last stone. They know Canada's going to have to make the move at some point. For as it lies, Canada, they can't just keep guarding it. Sweden just draws in to score the 2. So they'll just make the easy shot and say, okay, Canada, you make the move, and maybe you leave us something. Keep it open.
Line's closed.
Sweden
Higher than Dana.
just don't want to get too sucked in here. Be interesting to see what Sweden will opt for, depending on the choice they have in last draw. Score a 1, give away 1.
Yeah, you gotta go. Both of you
Yeah,
go. Finish
would
it.
you ever
Finish
see
it.
teams
Go, 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 go,
maybe
go,
give
go,
away
go,
1
go,
just
go,
to
go, go.
be 1 down with hammer?
Good throws there.
Seeing that a lot more now this year with the 5-rock rule. But it becomes more accessible to get the 2 corners up, try and score your 2 that way. Teams love having, and then it's in your control. You're throwing the last stone to the end to try and dictate play a bit. A lot of that's actually started back in some skins gameplay. Kevin Martin doing it a lot, actually playing end by end, but wanted that last stone in the final end to try and win the match. Even though it wasn't scoring points, it was scoring skins. You have that last hammer, you have the chance to win it. He was giving up money in skins to have that last rock to win the game.
Okay, what did this one time?
16, 15, 8.
No money per end here in the World Championship, though.
Just a world title on the line here for these teams.
I'm not sure if just is
just
the word you want to use.
So just to it? Yeah.
Put your names on that trophy
Plate.
in the history books forever.
And the 40th champion, 40th year of the World Championship.
Halfway, my guard? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Light.
Line's a little tight.
Tuck well. Go then.
Hard then.
Tight. Hard.
Hard.
Just a guard. Hard.
Hard, 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 hard.
Hard. 3. Hard.
Hard. Right to this one if you can.
Hard. Hard,
going,
Dana.
keep
Go.
going, keep
Go,
going,
go,
keep
go,
going,
go,
keep
go,
going,
go.
keep going,
Hard,
keep going.
hard, hard, hard.
Okay, good sweep, guys.
So Senate, with all those blank ends, does every shot have that much more pressure now in the late stages of this game?
Yeah, I think ninth end tied game, it's always I get the feeling like this shot is make or break. Like every shot is so key.
I threw less than I wanted to,
One
but
miss,
compared to my first
might
one, I
lose the
thought it
game.
would slide a
One
lot
make,
better than
you
that.
win the game.
Yeah, we haven't been out that wide in a bit. So.
Yeah.
Chelsea really stretching it out. Wonder if something's just not quite feeling right this morning for Chelsea Carey.
Jag vet
Vet ni vad marginalen
Jag kan hålla med om att öppna är okej.
Jag tror det.
Titta, han säger att så här, marginalen här är inte bra. Marginalen där är inte bra. För då kan
Alltså, även om hon gör det här, vi ligger fortfarande skott helt 4.
Jag tror också bara.
Då kan man ju runda.
Jag gillar öppna.
Ja, jag med. Det är det jag menar. Så även om hon fryser där så ligger vi fortfarande
Ja, och så hon ska sätta det perfekt också. Alltså, och jag menar, gör hon det, då får jag väl bara limma dit den. Det är samma dragning som jag drog förut.
Ja.
Kan jag sitta här nere, Sara?
How do these angles line up for Sweden?
Eller kan du flytta fram den?
Okej.
Tänkte om vi brukar ha luft och så. Ja, där var min så.
Just peeling the guard again.
Yeah, looks like it. Again, they're shot stone, so it's Canada to make the move.
Bara rent. Ligger bra.
Scottish father,
Perfekt satt.
hence the McManus name.
Härligt, Sara.
Makes sense that she plays curling.
Yeah, some Scottish roots in Sweden now.
Did it.
Yeah,
Then we
they
gotta
did
try
it.
to
Then
spread
we
this
have
out.
to make some sort of roll and hope we don't leave her a double.
Yeah.
Do you guys like this?
What do you think, Dana? Yeah, like what?
It's time for Canada to make that move.
Yeah.
Canada with plenty of time, almost 3 minutes more than Sweden.
Yes. Well,
We'll slide over Latvia, Korea.
I don't think we can guard again.
Korea lying one there.
Yeah, Latvia really giving a fight to Korea. They've been putting up a fight against pretty much every team this week. No pushovers whatsoever. But Korea here with a chance to draw for 2. That's been the problem for Latvia. They're not quite able to close out games. They're within reach all the way to the end, but somehow let their opponents slip. Hanging a bit on the center guard here. Does it get past? And then for 2 gets a little nudge. Redirect, but it's good enough for Kim Min-ji.
So 6-4, Korea leads after 8. Again, Korea, they can get a bye to a semi with 2 wins today.
Should be okay underfoot here, hey?
Yeah.
For sure. Okay.
So Senator, play this out. Canada hit and rolls to the wing.
Okay, easy down. Down weight.
Sweden hits the middle one, trying to avoid a double or maybe have a double back.
Forward. Whoa. Whoa. Yep.
Yes!
Yep.
Hard!
Hard.
Come on.
Only miss hit those ones, just rolls it off. Still shots down for Sweden.
It's not too awful for Canada.
Sweden make that double? Or is it jam on the side, Red?
Jag var ju nästan sugen på den, men det som är drygt är att den där.
Enda är att man inte kommer in på den om man sätter den så, men den sitter där nere. Eller?
Nej, precis. Skulle man spela ska man spela så.
Exakt. Ja.
Men gillar vi det då istället? Och så sätter hon inte den får vi 2, sätter hon den får vi 0.
Men om jag skulle om jag missar den då?
Om du bara bränner den så?
Ja.
Ja, det är inte way off heller. Då får vi fortfarande en enkel
Nej,
dubbelgånget.
Då måste hon slå den.
Kan jag bränna den och råka vicka så? Jag kan aldrig vicka där. Jag kan aldrig ligga kvar center och inte göra den. Då borde jag sätta den.
Jag gillar den här.
Jag gillar det.
Ja, du vickar ju längre och
För att det som känns farligt om jag gör den, det är att jag kan få något lite svårare.
Jag håller med. Jag gillar den här. Skulle vi bara bränna den så får vi en enkel dubbel.
Hon måste ju gå. De kommer ju ner och duttar förmodligen.
Nej, om jag bara bränner den så kan hon göra något sånt.
Ja, då kanske vi har en dubbel.
Duttfrysa. Då kan vi bränna på här.
Ja. Jag tror jag gillar den.
Jag gillar också den.
Gillar du det, Sara?
Sätt den, Anna.
Det var min första.
Ja, min
Sätt den och så ligger vi 2.
Vi spelar en så out här. Ja. Gillar du det där? Tjappa linan är ju för tunt. Det är nästan där.
Det här är ju 30.
Ja.
Alltså jag tyckte mina backade.
Ja.
It's very much hit or draw here.
Jag tyckte ju mina backade lite.
I think, especially the play in the head just to keep everything open. That's the way they make sure they can score. But you can actually make the double here, roll onto the rings.
Kommer du kunna gå på den här sidan?
There's a chance the first yellow
Inte om vi sopar.
kicks the second yellow onto their shot stone. Roll the shooter onto the rings. You lied too.
Hasselborg flying out of the hack here with his double takeout.
Just trying to hit it a hair low here.
Well, close, make the double. Just roll it on and kick that one out to the side. A little off of where they wanted to hit it.
That was not an option they discussed. Mostly the talk there was if they caught it too thin, what would happen? Well, Canada hit slides too. We might have a double, or we definitely have the open hit to score the single. This way, Canada might have a
Freeze,
chance
even
to
if we're
steal.
half a rock shorts, okay? We have to stay on Rochelle's side because otherwise she has the double.
Okay.
This path is pretty good though, hey?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Like,
Sarah thought hers
Use
was a
that
little
back
heavier. What
button.
do you guys think?
Leaves the shooter as a center guard almost.
So if Canada had the choice to come down and place the rock, do they want to be
Heavier than what I
tapping it
threw
or
on
just
here?
frozen on top and leave Sweden shot?
Depends
Yeah,
if they
that
want to
hit- that
steal
one
one
hit,
here
yeah.
or force one.
Okay.
So, but yeah, dead frozen, pretty good. If you tap it a couple of inches and get shot stone, I think it's okay. There should be a shot for two that way.
Gotta go for weight. We gotta go.
Line's fine.
Top four. Top four.
Room.
We gotta go. We're light.
It's not light.
They went early on it.
I said they had to go.
Top four. Top four.
Weight seems okay. Just line the problem here, really.
Okay.
Wow.
Great weight.
Really nice weight. Sarah's.
So definitely open head for two here. Are they looking to score more than the two though?
Is there a way to bring those other ones into play?
Typ en 10
Without
eller?
disturbing that shot stone on the button?
10 halv.
Yeah, no. We were looking at it. Can you throw it hard enough?
Yeah.
Hit the yellow one, just thrown by Canada.
Ja, det är.
Roll across, nudge that second yellow out. Maybe, but I don't think it's worth the risk. It's just too flat. It's actually, you're hitting a stone that's
Gillar du inte,
lower
Sara?
in the house.
Yep.
It's, I think it's probably just there, but I think I heard 10.5, meaning 10.5 seconds, which would be more of a controlled takeout. So just going for the score of two here. Mature call. No need for heroics. A 2-point lead is pretty significant.
Well, trying to hold this one to make sure they get their two. The hit and the roll in will score two more for Sweden. They will have that lead. 5-3 heading to the 10th end. Canada needs to win a trail by two.
Alltså, jävligt nice omgången då. För det finns så himla många out som var nice. Jag bara allt är nice. Ett är nice, stil är nice. Ja.
It all comes down 10th end now. Sweden leading 5-3. The LGT World Women's Curling Championship 2019. There's how we've got to this point. More scoring in every end in the second half of this game. Just that one in the first half. Canada needs a 2 to tie. Try to score 3 to win here against one of the stingiest teams in the competition. Canada's done it once. They'll need to do it again to try and tie it up. Coming in a 5-5 record.
Right back. Keep her going. Keep her going. Go. Good sweep, guys. Good.
Härligt. Kan man samlas för jag stack ju på. Härligt, bra.
Second one stacked on top for Sweden. Canada look for the corner guard.
Not curling a ton. Trying to curl now, yep. Keep it going. Sorry, I thought I was wrong. Good.
So 2 stones in the house, 2 corner guards. We're into second stones. Agnes Knockenhauer. This is the difference in the 5-rock rule. With this one, normally you'd see the peel of the corner, but you can't now. Those 2 in good position on the center line for Sweden.
What we have seen from Sweden is they sometimes actually tick the corner guard from the outside, tick it into the house. But Canada's left the corner guards high enough, makes that shot pretty difficult.
I don't think you're rolling if you're doing that, so it's one or the other.
So I think that was probably a good thing for Canada. You bring them too close to the house. Sophia Malberg just takes it into the house. You might try and guard it, but it's always possible to come after it, maybe remove it from play.
Lots of time to talk for Team Canada to figure out a plan of attack. Slide over and look at USA and Scotland, 9-6. USA leading Scotland.
I'm not sure if Jamie Sinclair is looking to even score here. That yellow rock on the button pretty well protected. Just hitting the second shot here, trying to roll in. So it would still have a 2-point lead on Hammer coming into the 10th end. I think they'll be more than happy with that. Just don't want to give up more than 1. Make the nose hit.
Just sits there, that eliminates the 1, and it's a stolen point. 9-7 now after 9. Scotland's still alive. They'll have to try and steal 2 in the 10th end of that game. The US scoring that 6 in 7.
10-5.
Just looking at the stats for Canada. Not too high on last zone efficiency this week, 38%. To Sweden's 59. And Sweden also with the 57% force efficiency, so meaning They don't give up twos
Nice, Dana. Good shot.
very often.
Great sweep there.
Well,
Team's very good at scoring twos. Canada, 38% of the time they get to score 2 or more. And blanks taken out of the picture.
Sorry.
Well, Anna cleaning the path. That was a conversation had just with Chelsea there. She ended up just maybe making contact with that guard while cleaning the path as they try to make this double peel.
Vad sa du?
Om man inte vill säkra och ta bort dubbelgarden.
Ja.
Så då är det alltid bara en gard. Bestäm du, Anna.
Kom ner i så fall!
Well, they're going to look at it again. We'll look at Latvia, Korea one more time. 6-4 in the ninth end.
Jag förstår vad ni tänker, men jag tror inte
I
vi får
must
det
say,
bättre.
there's a chance for Latvia here to really put the game to Korea.
Den ligger bra, men man vill inte sticka
Line
heller.
one,
Nej.
Då är det ändå 2
Ja.
garder
Team
här.
Korea, but Iveta Stasas Arsuna sees
Vad är viktigast, att vi får dubbeln eller kommer bort med egen?
good half or
Ta
more
den där nu.
of this yellow.
Ta bara klippa.
Come after it, tap it out. Could score a 3.
Well, can they get by the front?
Yes, they can. And onto that yellow. That is 3 for Latvia.
Great shot. Wow, Iveta Stasas Arsune gets 3 and will have the lead coming home against Korea. 7-6 Korea. And if they win both their games, doesn't matter what else happens, they get second spot. The double peel misses the other one. Leaves another stone out in front.
Bra sopat. Bra. Ah, fan.
Canada trying to find a way to hide some stones.
Yeah, that'll be good.
We're hot. Weight's a little up. We're okay though. See? Whoa,
Line's good.
whoa, whoa.
You're fine for line.
Where do you want it?
Higher is better. It needs to
It's
curl.
not high.
Okay,
Not high.
Sarah,
Let's go
go.
deep.
Sarah, go. Bury it at least. Only if you can. 14-1. Never you. Curl.
Okay, Dina.
Okay,
Okay.
that's good. 4-1. That slid nice, eh?
Good, Dana.
Well, they need it in behind, but goes back 12 foot.
Sorry. Kanske ska få med den bakre på den där. Bara ta enkla gula är också bra. Ja.
Bara spela den över! Har jag den så tippar jag på den.
Ja.
Tempting to try the slash here. Might drive the second rock, the red one, back onto that stone just thrown by Canada. But I think the call is just to pick it clean here.
Nej.
Uh-oh.
Kolla där bak då.
Well, didn't like that one right away. Are they going to get any of the guard? Won't. Do they get the one in the house? They won't. Sarah McManus goes by everything.
Wow.
This team is almost automatic on a lot of those that you just assume they're going to
We gotta be
make
able to get that
everything,
across the top.
Worried about this, huh? Double.
or at least make contact with
Or
something.
here is okay too.
Yeah. Okay, how'd it feel, Dana?
It's a bit shocking.
I thought I threw a 4. Okay.
It's like a shooting star.
Similar to what I
Just
did.
in a negative sense.
Draw. that
Buy a
at
lottery
top 12.
ticket.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
That'll be
I
good.
would want more. I like that. Okay.
You're Canada. Got to take full advantage right now.
Wow. It definitely brings the 3 into play.
Line's good. You got room right now.
Good. Top 12. Easy early.
Weight only. Gotta be in, but just for weight.
Take a look. Top 12.
You
have to
Okay, go if you need to. You have room still.
Just top 12, baby.
There's 0 line, guys. If you're in, you gotta stop.
Hard, Rochelle. Come on.
Have to have this one in the rings.
Get a bite, get a bite, get a bite. Go, 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 go.
Got to get a little further, get a biter, and it will come up short.
I thought that would get there.
That
Get the
is,
flash.
you know, opportunity missed there.
I gotta hear more.
I wonder if Sweden might have to switch gears. So many guards. Did they ever consider just throwing a center guard?
Bara vicka in.
Marginal, bara klippa!
I think they'll still peel.
Think they have enough to make that double?
I think the last call was just to peel it. They were looking at it. So same throw basically for McManus. Wide again.
Wants to make contact this time. We'll move those stones in the 4-foot around.
It's not necessarily ideal.
Don't see McManus off on those very often. Outside on both of them?
Yeah, I think so. Just a little bit full on the brush.
It'll curl a hair here, right?
A little bit.
Okay.
I think the first one's probably at release on extension, just kind of flicked it out a bit. The second one was maybe just a little bit of the same.
Easy.
Close. Close.
Close.
Sometimes you get this, sometimes you actually just get the feeling like you're sliding a bit tight without,
Really hard. Really hard.
even though you might not be.
Roll the shooter on the edge of that.
Give it a little flick back and it becomes too much.
But the jam on the back one, they're trying to roll the other way, and it never made the move for Sarah Wilkes.
She's played a really good game, Sarah Wilkes. She's kept Canada in it, but letting it slip here in the 10th.
Jag var inne på chappen, Anna.
Du chappar lite vitt.
Two costly misses by the Canadian third when they've had an opening.
Bara så att den stickar om någon slår vilka dit. Ja.
2.20. Bara säg att de inte ska ta allt för lång tid på sig.
Du har ju spelat de 10 halvorna fin.
Chappa fram.
Vill du ha sådär, Anna?
Vilka var bägge?
Ja.
Let's slide over and look and see what USA Scotland are doing. Their 10th end, a 2-point lead for the Americans.
Yeah, only need to get one yellow to go here. A lot of cleaning of the ice here. Don't want to pick up any debris on the way. So I think you'll see Jamie Sinclair throw a bullet just down the center line. And the sweepers will keep their brushes down, keep it clean all the way down. Shouldn't be any problems here. They don't care if they give up a steal. It's all about removing one yellow rock. Win this game. Gets the double anyway though, for the blank actually.
So it'll go down 9-7 will be the final. USA, a huge win. That eliminates Scotland from playoff contention. And they dropped to 4-7. USA now 6-5. And they hold on at the moment, that final playoff spot.
Didn't even see it.
Good game.
You're right? Okay, I just landed on my butt. Yeah.
Massimore makes the roll, but leaves a bit of a pocket for Canada if they want to use it.
This just looks shorter to me.
Okay.
This is where I threw the one,
Yeah.
thinking that's our best bet.
Yeah.
Thought about it, but
Like there, easy.
it'll just be make the hit and
I
roll.
think we have to make this, don't we?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I'm not really sure what else we have. Like, we could just straight draw, but then
Or we could freeze and then they guard and we have a run for 2.
I'm just worried if you don't make the freeze perfect. Like, if I'm just on the nose of this one.
I agree.
You know, like, it has to be.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay,
they both
I like
have
the
to be
roll.
perfect,
Yeah,
but
we know this spot.
Yeah.
So
we get it a piece buried. We gotta hope she misses something, right?
Yeah, you got it, Charles. What kind of
Easy?
weight?
Easy, I think.
What's easier? Make the perfect little tap freeze, and then make the angled run for 2. Or you make this hit and roll perfect, hope for a missed run back maybe, or a missed draw, and then score your 2. I think the latter is probably the more likely.
No, they know what they need to do. They make a hit and roll. Chelsea Carey needs the hit and roll now. Her final, first shot, pardon me, of this 10th end. Needing to score 2 to tie.
Other way. Yep.
Oh, change of plan now. Try and hit and roll in front. It's a good plan B, but whether they have a shot.
I just didn't do anything like my
No,
other
and
one
it was,
there.
I thought it was light.
Yeah, I thought so too.
It was light, yeah.
Didn't run anything like my
The little roll, create a bit of an angle. Anna's not guarding. She's gonna just try to eliminate this one to win game number 10. But for a stone that wasn't going to get to a good spot, at least Canada forcing Anna into a trickier shot on her last.
Jaha, nej, det finns inte. Den ligger ovanför. Ja. Märket, precis.
We'll look over in Denmark and Finland over on sheet B. Chance here for the win for Denmark to score 2. Well, as Dupont does that, Sweden will run Canada out of stones. It'll be a 5-3 win in our feature game in sheet C. Well, it is Denmark and Madeline Dupont drawing in for their win. They'll score 2, win 7-6. But Anna Hasselborg and Sweden win game number 10. They drop Canada below 500 with a 5-3 victory. Anna Hasselborg able to make the big shot at the end when needed. Game's wrapping up here at the Silkeborg Sports Center. A devastating loss for the Canadian side. Session 18. Latvia, Korea, the final game out on the ice. Latvia scoring 3 in the 9th end to go up 7-6 over Korea. Iveta Stasas-Sarsune makes a great shot in the 9th end to score 3. This the first of skip stones for Kim Min-ji. Down 1, trying to score 2 to win the game. And makes the double of those 2 red stones and sits right there. Korea lies 1. Great shot. Again, Korea controls where they want to finish. If they win their last 2, they are in 2nd spot. Stasas-Sarsune looking to play this draw, get right around, really put the pressure on Korea. Played a solid game and making things very difficult. Her draws have been 77% on the game. It's been a struggle for both sides in this one. Skips just in their low 60s. Latvian Skips final shot here of this 10th end. Krusta Barone Trying to guide this one right in around. Trying to get this one to finish. Got to get a piece under cover. But it doesn't look like it's going to get enough protection, and there's going to be a shot for two for Korea to come up with the win. They'll have to bring their weight down. So we need to hit and stick to pick up the victory.
괜찮을 것 같아, 앞으로. 혜린이 거 저만큼 잡은 거였는데.
Kim Min-ji coming in with a 7-3 record. This team played at the recent World Juniors, finished 5th there. All 19, played all 3 legs of the Curling World Cup this season. Winners of the last Curling World Cup. They hold the tiebreaker against the other teams with 3 losses. Trying to get one step closer to a spot straight in the semifinal. Win and they're into the playoffs. Well, past the guard now. Need to make the hit and the stick. Score their 2 and no problem. Kim Min-ji and Korea, they will get their 2 and an 8-7 win over Latvia as Latvia falls to 1-10. Korea picks up the win. They're 8-3. They'll play Scotland and a win, and they're into the semifinals at the World Championship.
나도.
Sweden taking on Canada in our feature game, 6th end. As you see there, a chance. Canada to get 2 was a couple of misses by Hasselborg, leaves the opening for Chelsea Carey just to hit the house, get the 2nd point, and the first points of the game for Team Canada to take the lead. But an ugly start to the 7th end. And unable to get out of it. Anna Hasselborg has the draw for 2 to retake the lead. The Olympic champ, no problem, puts that one into the 4-foot. Score 2, Sweden with the lead. 9th end. And it is Sweden again with the hammer. Chelsea Carey unable to make the freeze. The hit, chance to score 2 for Sweden. No problem for Hasselborg. Hits, rolls, gets the 2, and the lead to the 10th. And they would run Canada out of stones, blasting on Hasselborg's last, defeating the Canadian champs 5-3 in the process, winning their 10th straight. The other scores here in session 18, it was Korea coming back to defeat Latvia 8-7. Well, Denmark edges Finland 7-6. Our game was on 5-3, Sweden winning, and then the US, a big win over Scotland, 9-7 on sheet D. Leaves us with this. Sweden, Korea, and Russia all qualified. Korea, Russia, Switzerland battling for that 2 spot. Switzerland, 2 games left today. Well, China, 1 game left at 7-4. Then the US holds that final spot at 6-5. Then Japan and Canada right in behind with 5 wins. Germany 4-6, still technically alive. Then Scotland, Denmark, Finland, and Latvia rounding out the 13-team field here at the World Championship.
Only 1 point scored in the first 5 ends. Was that you guys trying to save some energy or a tactical approach?
No, we tried to play, but yeah, they made some nice ones, and you have to be smart. As long as you have hammer, you're in control. So I think we played a really solid game, and it was nice to be first up in the scoreboard.
You played a couple of close games the last couple of days. Does that prepare you at all for the playoffs?
Yeah, for sure. All teams are playing really, really well. So, yes, it's nice to play all 10 ends, and important to make some last shots. It feels nice to go into the playoffs with that.
How do you handle being touted as one of the favorites for the gold?
I don't think about that like in that kind of way. I think the most pressure anyone can put is the pressure we put on ourselves. So I'm just happy about how the team is performing, and we're just having a lot of fun and just trying to stay in a moment and focus on that.
Thank you so much, Anna.
Thank you.
Well, Anna Hasselborg and Sweden win again. That's 10 in a row. They're into the semis. 2 more round-robin sessions here. For Sandra Rolvog, myself, Luke Coley, our entire crew, thanks for watching the LGT World Women's Curling Championship.